Hey, it's the Bennington Show. 844 Rock God. 844 Rock God. I'm Ron Bennington.
And I'm Gail Bennington.
And this El Chapo news. I mean, this one I just took hard. You take a guy that we considered South America's father. You know what I mean? Like, he was just in the 80s. You know, he was a guy that we all looked up to. And now this.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's difficult.
Daddy Chapo.
And, Chris Stanley claims to be the big Weezer guy. Look who just came in.
Just swooped in.
El Scorcho.
Yeah, well, I wrote that joke for the Terrabang.com. I guess someone saw it and decided to use it in their
Is
intro.
this true, Vito?
I said it in the office this morning when the news came.
Bullshit. You didn't even know the news came in.
Oh, my God.
I let you know
You heard
about
him
El
say
Chapo.
it? We don't care about El Chapo.
I said El Scorcho. I said,
Why would I take
I'll
something
fucking lie detector both you guys on
I
this.
love lie detectors, Ron. Bring one in right now.
Why do you love them?
I even said it in the office and I fucking debated using it.
Yeah, because I brought it up first.
Stop hitting on your vape. It makes you sound guilty. It makes you sound panicky. I'm gonna. I'll just do a people's court.
Yeah.
I agree that it's Vito, because I don't think. First of all, I would think you would have gotten mad and interrupted him doing that.
Yeah, you're right. You would have shown rage.
So as a jury member, I'm going to vote for Vito.
I feel like El Chapo right now.
You are El Chapo. You're El Chop Meat. Gail, who you vote for?
It seems like Vito came. I mean, honestly, the way he delivered it, I didn't even see Chris react. It wasn't like he went, "Wait a second, that's my joke."
Well, if you play it back, this is the way Chris reacted.
That's how I react to most things. A lot of gas.
Yeah, you know where gas comes from? Nervous stomach from lying all the time.
Makes sense.
It's from
Yeah,
my...
this is a rough one, seeing El Chapo go down. I did not expect it. I thought he was going to walk away.
Sad.
It teaches me I should never have another hero.
I think he'll win on appeal. I think all charges get dropped.
Well, it's hard when it's not your country and it's the Southern District of New York City coming after you. That's the same people that, they don't seem to lose. You know, they got Trump's lawyer, and now they got El Chapo.
It's devastating.
Yeah, it's rough. Onward and upward. That's what I always say.
I guess. Except for El Chapo.
We're never gonna have another El Chapo.
No,
is
that's
the problem.
No, we won't.
Great nickname.
Yeah. I remember when we used to call Vito El Guapo, and now that's no longer politically correct. You know what? That is what I call Italian face. There's a thing out. Nick Cannon is trying to shame all the late night hosts for doing blackface. And he's got Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. I think that's probably it, right?
The late night host, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sarah Silverman also.
He put Sarah up?
Yeah.
He kind of hates Sarah Silverman, Nick Cannon.
Yeah, he, I don't really know why, but Sarah's been trying to get ahead of it, I feel like, for a long time, where she keeps making reference to, I know when I did blackface in my TV show, so this way nobody could just pull it up and be like, oh, you thought you were so great, Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
So she's been talking about it a lot. I think she might, I'm not sure if she even posted the still from it, but she was trying to keep it.
TV show?
It is from her TV show, yeah.
You would think that the TV network would take some heat for that if it's so fucking terrible. What was that, Comedy Central at the time?
Yeah, it was Comedy Central.
I believe so, yeah.
Well, a friend of ours just got a big deal with Comedy Central, a big pilot, where he'll be playing a struggling comedian who becomes a spy for the U.S. Government. Congratulations to Mateo Lane. Mateo Lane is on TV and in our hearts. I saw him out down at the Fat Black Pussycat. He was sitting with him as Lisa Traeger, who was whispering in her ear, I'm sure, as a wacky neighbor or stenographer. I already said I could be his uncle. Mateo, what are you doing? Mateo, you're driving me crazy. That's pretty cool, though, right?
Yeah, that's
Very cool.
amazing.
Well, if you think that's cool, I'm going to be at the Keswick Theater with Robert Kelly, Jim Florentine, Rich Voss, Friday, March 8th. Keswick Theater in Glenside, PA. KeswickTheater.com for tickets. Now, here's the thing. I'm supposed to do a podcast or smodcast, the Robert Kelly podcast tonight. But in this ugly weather, I'm the only one who lives in Manhattan.
Yeah.
I don't know whether these other three gentle souls can make it in. Westchester and 2 Jerseys.
I mean, I had trouble coming in from Brooklyn because the subway is just still 100 and some old system that if water hits the signal, it doesn't work anymore. So they haven't really perfected that yet.
Well, they haven't had time. Right? But these 2 guys are also from deep in Jersey. Have you heard back from his?
Not heard back yet.
That's funny. I thought you were the producer of this show.
I am. I've texted. As soon as I hear word.
If you were a clown, I'd call you Fuckles. That makes sense at all?
That's to me.
Yeah. Fuck most things up.
All right, man.
Just saying.
It's the aggression.
Yeah, it's just like the hard F, the way he dropped it.
Hard F and quite frankly, a U with 2 of those dots over top of it. That's always bad news.
Umlaut?
Umlaut. Umlaut. I always forget the name Umlaut. The only time I ever say Umlaut is when I'm trying to get some cheesy eggs. Can I have the lumpy Umlaut? Find out what the lumpy omelet is at the fucking cellar, would you please?
Will do.
What's in it on their menu? I never order. I hear other people ordering it.
And it's called a lumpy omelet?
Yeah, I believe it's called a lumpy omelet. But my problem is, I'm like, you got pancakes with lemon sauce? I'm not going to fucking pass that up because I can't get it anywhere else.
I
know. Earl was trying to still talk to me about the Grammys today, and I'm like, Earl, I don't know if it matters anymore.
It's only one day relevant.
I really do feel glad for Lady Gaga. I guess. I know that she used to sing at pianos down in the Lower East Side. And people tell me, oh, yeah, we were there the night she was singing. I have no recollection of that at all. To me.
Oh, really?
I mean, I've heard people be piano singers.
Right.
But I never went, stop it. I believe a star is born right here tonight in the Lower East Side.
The lumpy omelet contains jumbo lump crab.
I'm in.
Peppers, onions, chives, and thermidor sauce, served with breakfast potatoes and toast.
Man, I am in.
What other kind of omelet do they have?
Okay, they have a Denver omelet.
Oh, come on. What is this, 1974?
That seems to be the 2 omelet options you have.
What's in the Denver? Cubes of ham?
Ham?
I hate to say it, but that's a fucking Hard Rock Johnny specialty. He loves a cube of ham.
Ham, peppers, onions, jack cheese, breakfast potatoes, and toast.
I saw him shoot fucking ham cubes like they were dice. Who's music's biggest weirdo right now?
Well, I can tell you who thinks they are, and I feel like it's Lady Gaga. I feel like Lady Gaga thinks that she's weird, but to me, I don't think she pulls it off well because it's so performative. Like her performance at the Grammys, it was just like, okay, I get it. Like you're trying to be bizarre, but it feels more like theatrics. I mean,
even back to the meat dress, that was done with too much purpose to be.
Yes.
You know.
In fact, there is a singer, a musician, a singer from, I believe, Sweden called Fever Ray, and she's really, really fantastic. She's legitimately weird. And she was doing all that stuff way before Lady Gaga, like just, you know, wearing the weird clothes and masks and stuff like that and showing up to...
Who was the girl from Iceland like years ago?
Bjork.
Yes.
That's a legitimate weirdo. And I feel like she pulls it off very well.
Mm. Yes, there's some people that are just plain weird.
Yeah.
They do it well. Some people who are not. And I will say David Byrne from the Talking Heads is a true weirdo.
Yes.
And that makes it cool. He's not like, hey, what could I do to get attention on myself? Right. He is like, what can I do to change everything that's going on around here?
Now, I have a question for you about someone. Is this person too cool to be a weirdo, or are they just weird and cool?
Yeah.
Prince.
Prince was a weirdo and cool.
Right.
And I would say this, Michael Jackson was a weirdo and not cool.
Agreed. Yes.
And that's the big fucking difference between the two of them. One was living his life like a little vampire.
Yes.
Right, Prince. The other was living his life like a pedophile.
Yeah.
And
if you have to pick between the two, vamp it up.
Yeah. Earl, who pulls off the weirdo and who does not pull off the weirdo?
I consider Andre 3000 a weirdo in the sense that has a very quirky fashion sense. He'll just do things that are very, for lack of a better word, very un-hip hop, and he walked away from a very successful
Yeah, that's
career.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like when you walk away. And give me somebody that's like, doesn't pull off the weirdo thing.
Kanye West. He's trying to be like this, off the beaten path guy. It just seems like he's trying way too hard.
Yeah.
I think he's mentally insane.
Yeah, and I think
Kanye West, I want to help him.
Yes. So that's beyond just being like a little bit weird. But most of his things seem like a cry for help. Most of his stunts.
Yeah, it's a cry for attention or a cry for help. And even lyrically, I know people say that his lyrics are so great. I find them to be totally embarrassing most of the time.
Do you not like that he oftentimes rhymes a word with the same word? Do you feel like that's cheating in his raps?
I think that when he brings in a topic that has nothing to do with the subject and doesn't fucking fit at all, I'm like, either that's done without knowledge of how things work, or you're mentally insane. 844 Rock God, if you want to get on this, 844 Rock God. I'm gonna give you just two here on the show.
Okay.
Chris Stanley pulls off Weirdo. He's a real fucking vaping nut.
Thank you.
And he doesn't stop vaping. We have to breathe it in during the entire show.
It's vapor.
And then Vito doesn't pull off Weirdo. He goes to a thing where he acts like he's into scarves, and then that ends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's too performative. He is kind of like the Lady Gaga of our show.
He is.
Tell me something, Beats.
Wait, that's pretty good. Are you eating meats?
He's always eating meats.
Stop eating the meats.
Kanye style, rhyming meats with meats.
Yeah. Let's go over to, you know what? Instead of doing Chris Stanley, because he fucking took us off, let's go back to Vince. Vince, you're wearing, you copied off fucking Chris, and you're wearing the hat. So what are you into now? Who is a person who is weird, but they pull it off in the world of music, and a person who's weird, but they don't pull it off?
All right, person who's weird but doesn't pull it off, Jaden Smith.
That's a great example. That is a great example, because I feel like he's a youngster trying to find his way, but it's just like he's trying so hard to find his way.
I kind of almost wouldn't even say it because of that. Like, you know what I mean? Because he's the only one that would take this personal. Like, I'm trying. All right, go ahead.
And person doing it well, Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, she's almost conservative with it.
Except for those big vagina costumes that she was wearing in her video. I mean, I think she pulled that off.
By the way, she's one of those people, I don't even think she has a choice to not act that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she's almost obsessive about it. Julie in Indiana.
What about Post Malone?
The face tattoo.
Yeah, I would say from what I've seen of his interactions with just in the world and what I've heard, which is like one song of his music, I would say the weirdest thing about him is his face tattoos. And other than that, I feel like he's a pretty normal dude.
Yeah, he's a pretty conservative guy. Musically.
Did you guys see the pink suit that he wore to the Grammys with the high waist and the belt, and his package is just not all of it.
Okay.
None of it's attractive.
I played basketball with Post Malone once, and I kept yelling "Post up" during the entire, and we all. Finally, he just fucking quit. He said, "I'm not." He goes, "I feel like you're not doing this for fun."
You got his head.
Yeah.
Chris did pull
he
up
was
the
on my
picture.
team.
And he is rocking a bit of a camel toe with that suit. I see what you're saying
Absolutely.
with that. Yeah.
It's a moose knuckle.
Okay. Split the nuts.
Yeah.
So you're saying he doesn't pull off weird well?
No, not at all.
And who does pull it off well?
I think the face tattoos make it even worse.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who pulls it off well.
All right, so you cannot win this. I'm sorry, Julie.
I can't win.
You have to be able to do both. Let's go over to Matt. Hey, Matt. Welcome, Matt.
Hey, I think Lenny Kravitz pulls it off very well.
Now, is Lenny a weirdo or just a glam doll?
I feel like he's more cool and sometimes unique. But do you think he's like a weirdo? I don't know if he is.
I guess you're right. I don't typically think he's weird, but I think he definitely has a unique style that he pulls off well.
Yeah. Well, he's got the look, that's for sure. All right, and who doesn't pull it off?
That kid, I just lost his name. That kid from MTV was, he has all like the, dresses basically like in pajamas there. I'm losing his name.
Pauly Shore?
No.
Jesse the VJ?
Oh my God, please say what this is Jesse the VJ.
Remember when he was missing last year and we were all concerned?
Oh, really worried about that.
It's that kid. He's a white rapper. He started off on the reality show there. Shit, I forgot it. So I guess
we'll look into it. Yeah, Two Live Crew. Is it him? Two Live. Luke Skywalker. Weirdos. Who makes it work? Who doesn't? Another Matt. Matt.
What's the word?
Thunderbird.
Okay, so the guy he's thinking of is the guy that says, "I'm popping tags." What's that dude's name?
Oh, yeah. Like it's...
Macklemore?
Macklemore.
Yeah. That's who he's thinking of. So my guy is Beck, but I want feedback on Crispin Glover, even though he's not a musician. Is he cool? Is he weird or crazy?
Well, first of all, are you saying Beck pulls it off or doesn't pull it off?
I think Beck pulls it off.
Yeah.
He's got a body of work that says he's a weirdo.
Here's the thing about Beck. I remember, like, when back in the early 90s when he was trying to do, like, James Brown moves and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, this is so funny because he's kind of nerdy and he's acting like he's a soul man. He's really funny with that. And then I found out he wasn't trying to be funny at all. He was really trying to be, like, in Beck's mind, he's Prince. But instead of just this weird Scientology guy who's good at music. I say Beck pulls it off.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he does. I think he does it well. Like he's like the perfect amount of weird for an artist.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm gonna agree with Macklemore. I got it.
He's awful.
Jessica and Philly.
What's good, guys? How's it going? Guy Antwood. I don't know if you're familiar.
Oh, we
with
love them.
Love.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Odd pulls it off perfectly. But yeah.
I'm going to say this, and I'm very serious, and I'm sure I'm going to lose my other people. I say she pulls it off, he doesn't. I think she's the real deal.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
And he's more of a poser.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think that of their two like characters, hers is definitely more like mysterious, weird, and believable.
Yeah.
And his is very like
another fucking.
Yeah, like it could be like a movie character or something. But I absolutely love them and have seen them perform live in Brooklyn, and it was so much fun.
Really great?
It was so much fun.
Let's go over to Elliot in Ohio.
Hey, Bennington's long-time caller, first-time listener. Hey,
funny.
I got two for you, then I got a question for you, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Jack White pulls it off. Meg White doesn't.
Ooh, I'm going to disagree, man. I think
she pulls it off.
She's very odd, and she pulls it off. She's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till she writes a book called Bad Stuff Jack White Did to Me.
I'll go read it. At the end of that documentary, she's just bawling, crying at like a piano.
It was too much.
It was fucking intense.
I think Jack White would break us all.
I would say that they both pull it off.
Yeah. Probably her more than him, actually.
Because you think she's more legitimately weird?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a strange
Yeah, I think he has a love for the weirdness. But he's like, oh, what can I do that's weird?
Yeah.
Where she just sits down and eats a weird sandwich somewhere.
Right. Okay. Like he's the kind of weird where it's like he's cool and weird.
Yes.
And she's like weird.
But that makes her she's one of the most lovable people ever, in my opinion.
I adore her.
All right. And Elliot, you said you had a question?
Yeah, Ronnie, you listen to Outlaw Country. Did you ever, Dwight Yoakam's show, Bakersfield or Greater Bakersfield? He had Beck and Post Malone on there. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Normal guys, really.
I want to say this. I think Dwight Yoakam was always like a cool weirdo to me.
Yeah, I think he's
because just living outside of his decade, you know what I mean, is always funny. Where anyone will just decide, I'm going to fucking go for this time that doesn't exist anymore. James in Georgia.
Corey Feldman is weird and did not pull it off very well.
I think there's going to be just some disagreement.
I mean, I love him so, and I would never say an ill word about Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
Corey, yeah.
Those Angels are pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
Yeah.
They're the best.
I like people that don't need a big room to put on a big show. You know what I mean? Like when you put an arena-sized show in a nightclub,
right?
Fucking impresses me.
Give me a couple apple boxes and we'll give you a hell of a show.
Yeah.
That is impressive. But the one I thought that is weird and did pull it off is that kid Marshmello that wears that Marshmello hat. He's that DJ and he's making some bang.
All right, let's turn around. He's making some bang. We'll ask Vito to back us up. Are you familiar with
Marshmello Head?
Marshmello, he seems to be from your EDM fucking world.
I don't know much about this guy. I just know the last thing he did was he had a concert on Fortnite that had 11 million people going.
Oh, I heard about that. The concert that was 11 million people, and it was all in the middle of the Fortnite game. Did you see him, or did you see an icon of him?
It was an icon of him, but he was playing.
All right, let's see if you can find this, Chris. A lot of people were talking about this about a week and a half ago. I did not know it was Marshmello Head. I can't give him any credit because he wears a marshmallow head.
Yeah.
And the other guy already wore the other head, right? Rat Boy?
Dead Mouse.
Dead Mouse.
I call him Rat Boy.
Ah, that works.
I feel like you're ripping it off. All right, there's not 10 million people there.
This looks like a couple dozen at best.
This is sparse. I think the rest were bots.
So is this like you can just drop into this spot?
Yes, and there was 10 million people at this chat room. I don't think it's called a chat room anymore. but it is a chat room. It's like if you had a chat room with 10 million people. How many servers do you think they have there?
5.
Okay, that's a lot then. That's more than us.
This is insanity. What is this?
It's the future, dude.
Fortnite.
Look at those little. Future. So then the little guy, like you can also dance. Those are like the Fortnite dances.
The Fortnite dances.
Yeah. So they're all doing
the dances they've been sued for. Now here's the thing: people are acting like, "Oh, this is the biggest concert. It's bigger than Woodstock." Well, there's been fucking TV shows bigger than Woodstock. Yeah. You know what I mean? You could watch the Who's halftime show. It's bigger than Woodstock. That doesn't mean that 70 million people gathered for that halftime.
Dude, where are the numbers here. I'm literally seeing like 50 people.
It's like different. You go into different games and stuff, so it's not like you would.
I'd rather see fucking 10 million.
Yeah, I'd like to see 10 million little guys all running around and dancing.
I was pushing this, and as everybody knows, I'm a social influencer, and I got out to my 8 followers. They're like, "You got to do this. Man. You got to go there."
I kind of want to listen to them.
Yeah,
I'm feeling so influenced.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like we've created a community around me and the things that I think that you should purchase.
People do not like the social media influencers, huh? They don't like the idea of them.
It's scary to people to think they open boxes and that's fun for other people.
Right. I will tell you this, though. I think that there is a pretty big problem with it, which makes them so loathsome. Mm-hmm. I think that the name in itself...
Influencer.
Is a kind of a negative, obnoxious connotation of saying, like, I have enough power to influence people. That who would want to say that about themselves, because it already sounds obnoxious. So anytime you hear someone say, like, as a social media influencer, that person's gonna sound like an asshole. It needs a different name.
But the thing is, like, Ronald Reagan was an influencer. He was an actor who turned that into pushing products, and then was elected governor and then president. Like, it's always been around. If commercials didn't work, they would not be having commercials.
Right.
But they literally work. And, Joe Namath was an influencer to his generation.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger was a social influencer. What he wore, what he found to be important, other people did too. So it's the same thing now, except for the platform.
Yeah.
Is different. That's what drives us nuts.
The platform is different, and then they say that, like, oh, they're not famous for doing anything, and yet it's like one of those like weird catch-22s, because I feel like if somebody who is a celebrity says something, tries to influence particularly politics, something outside of what they do, they're like, why don't you shut up and do that thing? Right. And then if somebody influences and doesn't have celebrity, it's like they don't even do anything. They're not even...
Well, if you think of the amount of people, let's say if they're on Fox News or CNN or MSNBC, most of them don't come from the world of politics. Some do.
Right.
Some are journalists, some aren't. Why is their opinion? So why should Rachel Maddow, her opinion, be more important than Marshmello Heads?
I mean,
let's get fucking, let's see if we can have a virtual concert with Rachel Maddow that has 10 million people there. I'd be like this if I was running that concert. That's the way. That's the way.
And this is what I'm gonna have my little guy just do the floss dance.
And then I would suddenly go, "Gonna take you to Funky Town. Gonna take you to
it's a sick
Funky
set.
Town." Yeah! I started dancing and singing, then moving to the groove.
Stick with the song. As soon as I enjoy one, you switch it.
Play that funky music, Funky Town.
Wait,
play that funky music, Funky Town.
Back to Funky Town. I can't even floss to this.
Tell me something good.
That guy likes it.
You just see person after person leaving Fortnite. Well, we started at 10 million. We're down to 13.
Get him off the stage.
Wanna take you to play that funky music, funky town. All this stuff is Earl's favorite fucking jams from old school.
There's like weird, sexy cat head bots dancing on top of the thing.
Shouldn't they be shooting each other? That's what Fortnite is.
I'm confused. So did they just have to show up at a space and be like, "Hey guys, and don't shoot each other while you're here"?
Just be cool.
All right, let's go to Bob in Jersey. He's got one aimed exactly at Chris Stanley.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the perfect one for Pepper. Trey from Fish is cool.
Yeah. I agree.
Mike Gordon is a total nerd.
He's a creep, is what Mike Gordon's the bassist for
What
Fez.
makes him a creep?
Well, a few years ago, he got beat up by some security at his own show because he was taking pictures of like a little girl. It was just like regular like he said it was for his photography. He's a photographer, but then he got to get the shit kicked out of him. And he just like looks weird, and he's just very antisocial.
And that didn't get him kicked out of Fish?
No, he's still in Fish. They
That tells
believed
me
him.
everything you need to tell.
Old Gordo is a fucking oddball, and not cool at all.
He's a true creep.
Okay, that whole fucking band. And remember how fucking Trey treated you, and you're still saying that he's cool?
I mean, look, he treated me shittily. My personal thing with him, it's a problem, but I'm not going to deny him his coolness.
Well, why are you so hard on Andy Richter, who did the same fucking thing as Trey?
Andy Richter was never cool, and he treated me like shit, and I think I'm justified in my anger towards him.
I think you're justified in your anger towards both of them. Because fucking Trey said he didn't have time to, whatever he was going to do, take a picture.
No.
And then we saw him sit over here for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck Trey. He's not cool at all. You're right. You're right. I apologize to you. Because fuck Trey Anastasio.
The only Trey that you should love is Morgan.
Oh, hell yeah. I met him in the street, too. Gave me a big hug. He fucking loved me.
Remember when you were a little, Gail, and Tracy Morgan came up to us at the ATM machine?
Oh, yeah.
He just walked up to her and was like, yeah, thank you very much. Great to see you guys. We were like, whoa, this is weird.
It was very strange.
Like he thanked us for, I guess, being nice to him, but we didn't start it. That was like the Bill Murray moment, but we had it with Tracy Morgan.
I know he's not a musician. Bill Murray, pull off weird or doesn't pull off weird?
He is weird, and obviously he pulls it off. He's beloved for it, beloved by everybody but his family. No, I'm sure his family loved him. I was just kidding. Now, I would say this. Tracy Morgan pulls it off. Captain Morgan is just a fucking weirdo.
He's a cosplayer. There aren't pirates anymore.
Thank you. Yeah, he's a pirate, all right. Boot pirate. Hard Rock Johnny wants to get in. He buys the pants of cool people.
He does.
He rejects the pants of the uncool.
I'm just calling to fight the fake news. I have never thrown cubes of ham like dice. Ever. Not once.
That's what I heard.
Let the legend grow, my friend.
Although if I could bet on it, I may try to.
Why don't you come over with that omelet fucking table that you travel with right now? And we'll just sit around and we'll
make omelets. Could you do omelets at 2:40 in the afternoon?
Absolutely.
I could.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'll come. You want an omelet station? I'll come do an omelet station. I'll cook myself all day.
You're bullshitting. You would never bring your omelet station. You ever see my grandma? She's adorable.
She just got up from a nice 2-hour nap, apparently. I'm glad that she had it.
2-hour nap. Would you do me a favor and not keep her up all night? Then
Oh, my
maybe she
God.
wouldn't need these long naps.
Guys, I'm on 0 sleep. 0 sleep. It's insane.
Well, you wanted to have this, baby. I tried to talk you out of it. I told you were too immature. This is so pretty. I'm going to send it to my sisters. Forward. Johnny, give us, is it cool you and your omelet station? And then Johnny Go-Go and his PR station, not so cool.
No. Omelets are much cooler than PR.
Have you heard of this lumpy omelet before?
I never had it. Sounded kind of good.
You're straight Denver.
No, I don't like a Denver omelet. Denver omelets from like 1937.
But I think if you put a cube of ham in, no matter what else is there, it's a fucking Denver omelet.
I'm not going to lie. I like a Denver omelet.
I don't.
It doesn't exist anywhere outside of the Denver omelet.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I know. I learned my lesson the last time I was making omelets there, not to bring cubed ham.
No, from now on, I want you to. Gail's favorite is Chris's favorite.
I love it.
I'll bring regular ham, and I will bring cubed ham. So that way, if you want like a ham and cheese omelet, you can have it with just a nice piece of ham as opposed to cubes of ham.
Okay.
Pass the cubes.
I like a thick cube, please.
Bring me lots of cubes.
What's this now? Is this a parody?
Denver, omelet. Yeah.
What the hell is going on here?
I like it. Will the baby have an omelet, or is it not old enough?
The baby
yet
had a
for
cookie
omelet?
today.
She had a cookie today.
What kind of cookie was it?
It's a sweet potato banana cookie that is like a teether, so it like melts away. So like this way she can't like choke on it because she really only has 2 bottom teeth right now.
But they're good.
Yeah,
they're
delicious. I would love a sweet potato cookie.
Yeah.
Did you try it?
I did. It was pretty good. Melted away too quickly.
I was gonna have some crackers here, and I asked Earl when he went down for water, and he gave me the.
Come on, Earl.
Why'd you give him the double finger?
He's like this.
I'm gonna floss to this one.
Earl, what are you that kind of DJ? Would you consider yourself like a fucking bring on a big brassy fucking neo soul sound for yourself?
I'm brassy and neo soul to the core. I'm a soul man.
Okay. G74 man. All right, Johnny.
We'll see you at Omelet Station.
You say that, but we haven't seen an omelet station in 4 fucking years.
I know. I would love to see
4
it.
years since the station rolled in.
I've called Chris a few times and asked about it, but he never.
Why do you
never,
Chris?
You've never
Dude.
called me
Chris
about
is
an
a
omelet
fuck up.
station.
Please, all I want is this cubed ham.
Bring me lots of cubes, brown, brown, made of ham now. Why don't you do this hammer of the gods? Oh, Cory Booker on TV tonight, right? How is he going to fucking get elected president when his fucking resume says I was mayor of Newark?
It's a giant market cap.
I was not able to turn that town around. Probably got a little worse, but who could tell? All right, talk to you later, Johnny.
Bye, Johnny.
Later.
Johnny, are you down at the beach? Are you crabbing? Because you didn't come in the snow, did you?
No, I'm actually on my way out. I'm on the West Side Highway as we speak.
I'm
Oh,
shocked.
careful, please.
I'm
A
shocked.
little treacherous, but not too bad.
You got a short day. All right, talk to you later, Johnny. Love you.
Love you,
Love you
Johnny.
Now, here's the thing. Johnny is the one who got her all into Hard Rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
They never speak to each other.
It's really weird.
They never bring anything up. The only good thing is that Earl has told me some of Johnny's Hard Rock rumors.
Ooh.
You know, the stuff that goes on.
What are they?
I don't want to say anything. I'll just say that Johnny uses some of the Hard Rock money to pay prostitutes to have sex with his penis.
That's not legal in any way.
And when you say just say, it seems like you said it all there.
Yeah. Let's just say that. Let's not get too fucking crazy about it. Garrett, California.
Yo.
Yeah.
The greatest weirdo of all time, Dennis Rodman.
I think he's weird for weird. I say Dennis Rodman, the basketball player, cool weirdo. Dennis Rodman, the post basketball. No, doesn't work.
He's just a fucking maniac.
He's got to get 19 fucking rebounds a night for me to enjoy what he's doing. John, Kansas.
Hey guys, I actually called yesterday about that social influencer deal.
I don't remember
being
that.
annoyed. And Gail, you kind of hit my point there. With the worst part about that is they think. I mean, I don't get influenced by them, and they're basically like, look at my
influenced
ass,
by the
let me
social
influence you.
influencer. So John does anything the Instagram queen tells him to do. And why wouldn't he? You know? Why wouldn't he?
They're hot. They're sexy. They have lots of good products.
Vito,
they stand
can I
behind.
ask you a question?
Yeah.
What social media person influences you? Because, I mean, I know that that's your thing. You love to be trending.
Yeah. Let me look through my Instagram.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Jen Selter, does she influence you?
I mean, I take workout.
Jack that dick. I don't think anyone's thought I want to work out more by working that. Those just work out their fucking crank.
I know I've been influenced to follow her friends that she has on her Instagram page. That's fucking helped me.
I follow a lot of porn stars. A lot more porn stars than I realized.
Who are you following?
Angela White, Kiara Mia, Kendra Sunderland.
I never heard of one of these people. Did you, Chris?
I've heard of Kendra Sunderland. She was the girl that became a porn star. Do you remember the girl that she went viral for masturbating in a library in the Northwest?
Kind of, yeah.
So she did that, and then she got a bunch of porn deals, and now she's a porn
And
star.
Kiara Mia is the one who got caught with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, yeah. I remember that girl. And then he fucking blew his ACL.
Follow a lot of former Big Brother contestants.
What are they pushing?
They push teeth whiteners. That's their big thing. And then the meme accounts, like the Fuck Jerry's, the Johnny Famouses.
You're supposed to get rid of Fuck Jerry.
Yeah, fuck Jerry.
Let me delete Fuck Jerry right now.
Yeah.
Great. Patton Oswald's going to be excited that you did that.
Unfollowed, Patton. You hear that?
You got him.
Now, let's do this. Patton Oswald or Mike Patton? Pick.
Mike Patton.
Vito?
Patton Oswald.
Earl, what do you got?
I am going to go Patton Oswald.
Can I just say this? You want it all, but you can't have it. What is it? What is it? I wish Gail was still here. She went off the pump. She'd be very, very excited right now. Else in your place, well, you can't grab it.
He's a real fucking weirdo.
Well, he's a guy who also likes to jack the way you do, too. He's made that publicly.
Oh, yeah.
And they said that he's got the greatest range of anybody that's ever sang.
Yeah, he has like a freakish voice. I got a weirdo who doesn't pull it off, who tries to be weird, can't pull it off. Katy Perry, I think, tries extremely hard.
Too pretty to be the world.
Yeah, and I think she has a team of people telling her to be weird and doing weird shit. And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. But she herself is not weird.
She pretty much copied like what Miley Cyrus did a few years ago, but watered it down.
I'll tell you, a weirdo does pull it off. Fiona Apple is a weirdo, and I think she pulls it
And
off.
most people don't, but real weird people know that she's the real deal.
Yeah, she's fucking nuts, and she's awesome.
Looks like somebody's in love.
Maybe, Ron, maybe I am. That Criminal video was fucking hot.
Well, that's when you got off the thing? Fucking 98 or whatever it was, 96?
I was just referencing the, I think, the hottest video.
Earl met Fiona Apple before she put out any music, anything.
What?
She used to go out with a guy that Earl worked with at WNEW, and I remember that story. Now tell the Christmas story, Earl. Tell the Christmas party story. She goes with your friend to the party and
Yeah.
leaves with,
Oh my God. I believe it was Julian Lennon.
and then never saw the guy that she was dating again.
Good for Julian Lennon.
That guy dude didn't even get a fucking phone call.
Fucking ghosted him.
Yeah. Should have sent him some berries.com. Way of making, like, hey, it didn't work out the way we want. Have some fucking berries. It's in your face. So I can't believe this. David Spade is going to get a late night show with Comedy Central.
I remember he had a show on Comedy Central, like an entertainment news show.
He's doing the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, he used to have to go out the Showbiz Show.
Yeah.
It was based on his Hollywood Minute, where he just run people down that are in the news. Good for him.
Yeah. Getting back out there.
Hopefully he'll leave with Fiona Apple. Earl, how do you feel about Kareem Hunt, the man that you call the woman buster? KC got rid of him, and then didn't have him for the playoffs.
And it hurt him.
And then now the Browns signed him. And they go, in Cleveland, we hit women.
Now, was he ever charged or convicted of any of the...
I don't know, but the video of him is out. I mean, we can't play like he said, she said. We all saw.
Yeah.
That was the hotel video where he kicked the girl, right?
Yeah. They shoved her down and then kicked her.
And she was a tiny girl, Earl.
No, I don't know the whole full story of what happened.
Sounds like you're on his side.
But
Well,
Browns...
maybe that would change your mind, Earl.
But it's a bad move. It's a bad look for an organization that is known for bad looks. You know what I mean? And I just don't think it's a good idea right now.
Watch this. He pushes her, Earl. He pushes the dude. And he won't stop coming at her.
Yeah, that's not a good look at all.
Now, he said that she used the N-word, but I haven't found out which word it was.
Yeah, not a good look for the Browns. Again, an organization that's been in the toilet for forever.
But they had a great, comeback year last year.
Yeah, they ended the season really.
They're
really strong.
knocking at the door.
That's
way
right.
They used to say in Houston Oilers country.
And now they got this great running game after the suspensions fulfilled.
Yeah. How long do you think the suspension is going to be?
I say for this video, he gets 5 games. 5-game suspension.
What do you think?
I'm going to say 8 games.
I'll split the difference. 4 games. 4 games, big fine.
I'm going to go 32 games.
Oh, God. Why would they sign him?
2 years.
It's going to be a lot of
32
money.
years is not... 32 games is not too much. And that's fucking assault, brother.
Yeah, that's that's a beating.
I mean, I
Let's
know
call
the
it what
Ray
it
Rice
is.
video is worse, but what was the Ray Rice suspension? Wasn't it indefinite?
Yeah, it was basically a lifetime. But here's the thing that you guys are saying. It's better to hit a woman than it is to kneel during the national anthem. That's the fucking opinion of you three. Because that's what you're saying. One guy can't come back, and you see him work out all the time, right?
Yeah, I see him, and he's always with Eric Gordon. Eric Reed. Sorry, he's always with Eric Reed.
Okay.
Constantly. Yeah, he works out
I thought
every
you were
morning.
trying to gaslight me by saying Eric Gordon.
Oh, you don't know about Gordon?
I don't know.
Guy's fucking great tackle.
Remember that one of you did the El Scorcho joke after hearing the other person?
And that would be Vito doing that.
I wrote
he's
it.
a fucking thief.
And just like a few weeks ago, I did a Weezer opening.
Really?
Did you write that one too?
Yeah, I did. I didn't want to bring it up. All the Weezer material is coming through this guy.
Now, during all your dating app time, Chris, did you ever use Bumble?
I used Bumble for a little while. I didn't do too well on it. Only met one girl. She was a weird hoarder shut-in.
Is it because on Bumble they have to message you first?
Yeah,
that
was tough. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing I don't understand. How's Bumble different than anything else?
So Bumble is different from, let's say, Tinder, because when you match with someone on Tinder, you can message the girl can message you, whoever messages who first. Usually the guy messages the girl first. On Bumble, it's like female friendly, so when you match, the woman has to message you first before any communication happens.
And then it expires after a certain amount of time if the girl doesn't message you.
Yeah. Didn't get a lot of matches. The ones I did usually expired. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Did a lot better on Tinder.
Guess who's in love with Mike Patton? Liz has fire.
Really?
Yeah. Says man of her dreams.
I get that.
She's on he's the name on her list.
Oh, the list.
Yeah, what's that called?
The fuck list?
The fuck it list?
You two are fucking disgusting. And I wouldn't care if Liz ever stops talking to you. You know what it is?
Is that a hall pass list or something?
Yeah, that's it. The hall pass list. Which you call a fuck list. Or what white girl is on your hall pass?
White girls on my hall pass.
If you could be with any white girl right now.
I still dig Angelina Jolie a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Today, Angelo Jolie or
Gia, Angelina Jolie.
Oh, Gia and Angelina Jolie. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
So you're going to time travel for your pass.
It's not possible, Earl.
My white woman's Minka Kelly.
What's that?
She's she dated Jeter at one point. Actress.
Let's take a
Dish
look.
girl?
Because I'll take Jeter's wife over anyone he's ever dated. Oh, wait. What is she, just a model?
She was in Friday Night Lights. She was in the end. She was Autumn in 500 Days of Summer.
Oh, she was there in the last scene?
Yeah.
I didn't like her as much as the other one.
Zooey Deschanel?
I didn't even know that Mackenzie was in here. Tell Mackenzie, come on in.
Come on in, Mackenzie.
Oh, she went around to see what your true love was.
Minka Kelly.
Did you know who this Minka Kelly was?
Yes, I was peeking because I wanted to see who it was.
Yeah. Now, if you could be with any white girl, I guess Amy Adams. Now, if you could be with any Muslim guy, who would it be?
Oh, any Muslim?
Yeah.
It's really. I'd have to think about the Muslim celebrities that are there. I'm not sure if I.
Who would you be with, Vito? Any Muslim guy?
Hassan Minaj. Is he Muslim or?
No, I don't think he's Muslim.
No, he's Desi, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not.
Jesus.
Chris, what about you?
Malcolm X.
Fuck.
Oh,
Damn it.
And I'm going to take Osama bin Laden. Only because I'm so mad at my parents. I want them to deal with this, Mom. You see me I am?
Yeah.
Now, this is your third day here?
Yes, it is.
And Vinay has missed his 2 days.
Vinay is here as well.
He's here
actually.
today?
He's here today.
Why wouldn't you tell me this?
I didn't want to let you know. That
Why? I got fucking Dave. I can't even play with it. I have David tell him 5 minutes.
He's here today.
Oh, you're a terrible fucking producer, Vito. We have this big thing that he hasn't shown up, and you don't tell me that he's here.
I forgot to let everybody know.
But I do show up every time.
No, you're the A number one.
Just want to get that out.
You're the A number one, and you had to come in and snow today.
Yes, it's like awful conditions.
How did you get it here?
So I had to take the train in, which getting here was fine, but like classes are like suspended like for the day, and our transportation to the train station suspended.
I want you to know something. If that happens, don't come in here.
Well, I like being here.
Well, you're not. Yeah, you're the exact opposite of Vinay. All right. Dave Attell is here, and we're gonna break. Chris. All right. What are you off? What is he running?
I believe he's getting the live reads. We should probably cut a live read as we go into break.
You see what I go through, Mackenzie?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You should just have me come on more.
I would. It's a nightmare with these guys. I am so pissed about the Vinay thing. I definitely would have loved to have talked about that. A gift from Sherry's Berries is the perfect way to make a big impression this Valentine's Day. You can never go wrong with their signature dip, Valentine's strawberries. Dipped in milk, dark or white chocolatey goodness for any discerning palate. She'll fall in love with every bite. Topped with decadent toppings, chocolate chips, heart and glitter sprinkles. Always fresh, always tasty, always worth the wait. Perfect companion to a candlelight dinner, a bouquet of flowers, or a night on the town. Valentine's made easy. Arrives fresh with 100% Sherry's Berries guarantee. Ships anywhere nationally. Gives sweet somethings to your long distance love. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Send her the Valentine gifts of her dreams at the price of your dreams, starting at just $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Plus, order now and make this Valentine's Day really special by adding a dozen red roses for just $19.99 more. Ship with your Sherry's Berries at no extra charge. Go to berries.com, click on the microphone, and enter the code Bennington at checkout. That's BERRIES.com. Click the microphone and enter code Bennington. Order today.
Welcome back to Bennington. Dave Attell's in studio.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
And he'll be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas at the Rio Monday, February 18th. 2 shows, 8 and 10 p.m. ComedyCellar.com for tickets. And Dave will be in Vancouver on Valentine's Day, Tacoma, Washington, the 15th through the 17th, and Phoenix, Arizona, February 22nd through the 24th. DaveAttell.com for tickets.
Mr. February, that's what they call me.
There goes Mr. February. He's the love comedian.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to Vancouver for Valentine's Day, huh?
Yeah.
Dreams come
perfect.
true.
Yeah. Let's not turn that into another Fire Fest. We got to worry all the time right now. I mean, I feel like we've done enough to pull this off.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm just a figurehead. I'm a
Yeah,
tastemaker.
yeah.
I'm not into the production. I'm the Ja
Right.
Rule of this situation.
Yeah.
I'm a victim as well as the fans.
I don't know. You know, we were talking about this, and Gail was very insistent that Ja Rule should have went to jail as well.
Oh, he should?
Yeah, that he was just involved as anyone.
What did you see the documentary? Because I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Yeah, I've seen 2 of them. I've seen the Netflix and I've seen the Hulu.
I haven't seen it, and I'm a little older than I guess the Netflix crowd. How does it compare to the movie Woodstock?
Woodstock. The only thing that worked in Woodstock is that they were on regular land.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, everything went bad, but
Really?
there you could hook up electricity. Where this was just a deserted island,
Really?
in the Bahamas with nothing,
Wow.
no water, no electricity, and they thought they could do this.
And they said, because I read the blurb,
Yeah.
it became a Lord of the Flies situation.
right.
Is that true?
Actual flies. You know, it's the Bahamas. You've been in the Bahamas. Insects get big there. It's
I
ugly.
don't know. I'll have to talk to my cruise ship comic friends and see if they could have helped him. What about FEMA?
Yeah.
Do you think FEMA should get into the
FEMA,
concert promotion business?
Well, you know, since FEMA wasn't really there for Puerto Rico,
Right.
we honestly we took the attitude of it's kind of America, not as it's not exactly San Diego.
So in the documentary, they have all the footage from the people who actually went, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's these kids they're
So what did they charge their phones? All right. I'm sorry for looking for the conspiracy
that was
theory
the
here.
big problem is that it was only the people who brought batteries.
So you
that
sure
really
it
would
wasn't
help them.
crisis actors?
No.
Because that's what they're saying across the street.
Crisis actors is calming. That happens most of the time. I'm starting to think the only real crisis actor is my own parents. I mean,
Yes.
every single day,
know-
every day.
Can I, since we have a little time and it's just us bros, can I
Yeah.
say it?
Yeah.
As they said at the Fire Fest, us bros. Do you mind if I talk? Remember we were hanging at the Cellar?
Yeah.
And I was telling you about the circus documentary?
Yeah.
And you told me that you are from Carnival royalty.
I'm Carney background.
I didn't know
Carney
that.
Background, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. I find it very mysterious.
It is a way to look at life a little sideways. There's no doubt about it.
You guys are the Knights Templar of
Thank
the
you very much.
entertainment business. Like
Thank you
nobody
very
really
much.
knows anything about you guys.
Yeah, well, the people who were supposed to know. That's the
Oh,
way
okay. That's all I want to
You
know.
know, I'll tell you this because my grandparents were carnies, and then I'd be a little kid, like 5, 6 years old, and when I would, and I don't know whether it still works at carnivals, but when I would walk up to the rides and they would go to charge me, I was taught to say I'm with it,
Really?
and at that point you just go on any ride that you want to.
You wouldn't
with
just show them your teeth or anything?
No, no.
The corny teeth?
Just the backwards.
All that candy corn.
Yeah, there is an amazing amount of cotton candy that you go through in your life.
So can I ask
Yeah.
a few, I guess, you probably have gone over this with the fans
Yeah.
a million times, but so you keep moving with the corny thing.
Yes.
Okay. And for the it's mostly a summer thing, right?
Yes.
So in the winter, what do you guys do?
There are places that, in warm places, that a lot of the carnival people and circus people would show up. Places in Florida and Arizona and Southern California, and they would kind of ride out the winter. Some people would take some part-time gig work, but other people would you make a very good living,
Right.
if you could do the carny thing. So you would basically, just like school teachers get summers off, carny people would take winters off.
And did you get along with the circus people, or was that kind of like a
Well,
Dracula vampire thing?
Yeah, I
you know,
mean,
like
it's-
werewolves and the lichen
Right.
and the whatever that is.
There
Sorry.
are times that a place will have a circus at a midway,
Uh-huh.
and then sometimes they won't. But when I was down in Florida, there was a town where the circus freaks would go, and there was this guy named Lobster Boy.
Yes.
And he ended up killing his
family.
His wife. And why isn't that? Is that a documentary that's?
I read that
made?
book.
Yeah,
I read that book about he was this alpha. I guess you could call them the F word, freak.
Yeah.
And he supported this whole family, and they all had the same disability with the hands.
Right.
And and it was I don't know. I mean, the people just couldn't leave the house, because of the doorknobs.
Right.
They were trapped.
Were they in Ruskin, Florida? I'm trying to think if that was the name of the town.
Sarasota. Isn't that where all the
Sarasota would not be. That was a little more upscale.
Oh, I see.
On the other side
that's
of the
more
bay.
Ringling Brothers.
Yeah,
that's
That's like, oh, la-di-da, you hold on to a trapeze, I see. But Ruskin, I think, is a tomato town down in Florida that would also bring in.
They were in Gibsonton, Florida.
Gibsonton is the name of that town, and different freaks would go there. But don't you love the idea that there would be a place where the sideshow people would go?
I think they should have a homeland.
Yeah.
I mean, as a young congressman, I'm just going to say.
Yeah. No.
But, I find that fascinating. And, we were talking about Ed McMahon, who also was from Carney royalty.
Well, Ed McMahon would work the boardwalks.
And that's totally different.
Yeah, because you stay in the same spot.
Oh, okay.
So, people from Carney backgrounds tend to look down on those that, like road comics do. It's the same exact thing. A road comic will look at an LA.
How's it going?
LA comic like, oh, that's nice. What do you want?
I get it.
What do you want to do? You want to have a fucking sitcom? Well, I'm out there, baby. 340 days on the road. Why don't you plug away, Christopher?
Dave Attell, he'll be in Vancouver for Valentine's Day, Thursday. Then he'll be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas at the Rio, Monday, February 18th. Go to comedycellar.com for tickets. He'll be in Tacoma, Washington, the 15th to the 17th. Phoenix, Arizona, February 22nd to the 24th. DaveAttell.com for tickets.
We were just bringing up some of the documentaries on TV. Have any of you guys seen this documentary called like Abducted in Plain Sight?
No, I saw the title of it and it looked pretty creepy, but I haven't watched it.
Well creepy. It's 70s family. They have a neighbor. The neighbor is obsessed with the 12-year-old girl, right? And then the neighbor ends up, as far as I could tell, having sex with that entire family. What? Yes, the entire family.
Wow.
Dad, mom, the daughter, the whole thing. And they're Latter-day Saint people. So they were naive. And he said to them, I have this problem because I was molested as a kid, and we think it would help if I slept with your 12-year-old daughter. I stayed in bed with her every night.
This might be a little too topical, but I'm just going to say that neighbor probably needed a wall that could have put the kibosh on this unholy union, as they would say.
That is what's great about your stand-up. It is ripped from the headlines. Yeah.
Tip of the hat to you for the setup. But, so there's a documentary coming out?
Yeah, there's a documentary out on Netflix. Netflix is just the land of crazy documentaries.
You got to watch them.
Anywhere you go, And you're like, oh, I don't want to watch it. It's too horrific. And then you stay with it.
Really?
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
You're a true crime guy. Do you like it?
Not really. Not at all. I hate when anything happens to a kid, especially. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was more of that the Mormons, the thing that I enjoyed, the Mormon religion didn't prepare them for life.
Right.
It kept them.
Yeah.
They couldn't sing their way out of this one. They're all standing in a choral formation. So was the neighbor a member of the tribe there? Or
I don't think he was.
No.
I just thought he was like a regular, weird, slow-playing dude.
So did it not prepare them for just someone lying to them? Did it be like,
someone
lying,
or, they were not ready for the excitement of sex. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the Mormon sex, I guess, was... something that you had to do. But this guy came in and brought in like, hey, you're a pretty woman. And she just fucking melted,
Really?
And then he said to the father, man, I'm really frustrated right now. Could you relieve me? And then the guy is explaining that he did it.
Really?
Out of this whole... but he was very childlike about it. It's the same way you could Chris will trick a Cub Scout. It was the same exact stuff that happened.
I don't know.
So you find this relatable?
Trick or
then?
treat.
Yeah, trick or treat.
It's the
By
flip
the
of
way,
the coin.
anyone who feels like to me like they have carny stock is Chris.
Chris
You
does
would've
look
been
like a
perfect.
carny.
Oh, I
Yeah.
would loved it. Yeah, that
You would have been what we called a ride boy.
And what,
you put
would
the
run
rides
it-
up
you would
and
run-
down, and then you see if the people are tall enough to get on it.
Seems like a lot of the ride boys are drunks, from what I can
Oh,
tell.
I love that. It's a great job for me.
Everybody is drunks there because summer.
It's summertime.
Yeah.
You're out, right?
This was one of the. I'll never forget this move. I saw this when I was a kid. So there was the guy. He was a ride boy plus head of security.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So he would make sure because at nights a lot of times people would. If you're in a rougher town, sometimes you'd have to sleep in the tents and stuff to keep an eye on your stuffed animals. So he used to walk around with this big kind of stick, like a walking stick, right? And he always had the same move. He would swing it up like he was going to crack them in the head. And when they would go out like that head, he'd whip it like a golf club and smash and shatter their shin bone.
Wow.
And he was like known for it.
That was a
And-
game?
Yeah. But I remember one night we were in the tent. We were in the bingo tent sleeping. And I just hear this yelping like a dog got hit by a fucking car. And it was a fucking grown man running away with his shattered
Oh my
Wow.
god!
shin. Yeah.
Because he was trying to steal one of the
Yeah, he
carny.
was trying to come in and steal a fucking Gigi doll from himself. Life is big. You want something like that, you can't afford it, you can't win it.
Do you ever feel like maybe full circle you should make a trip to China to see where they make those
Jesus,
dolls?
yeah.
Thank you for all the joy you've brought. Who are you?
They're 6-year-old kids. They're just fucking blind from working in the dark with sewing needles.
There's a lot of good documentaries out there. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're into alien stuff,
Yeah.
UFOs, stuff
Yeah.
like that. I just saw that one about that guy who's the first guy to talk about the Area 51 in
Right.
'89. I think it's what's his name, Blazer or Robert something.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was on. I hate to say it, but on regular TV.
Oh.
That's when
That's
you
disgusting.
lost everybody.
What, UHF?
How do
Yeah.
you find that?
Exactly. I don't know. They were playing it at the shelter, and we all just started watching. But just how no one believed him, and the best part of the documentary for me was he's drawing what he saw at Area 51, like this antimatter fusion reactor, gravity defying spacecraft, but he's doing it and the cameraman is not even coming so you can see it, so it's just like he's just drawing like I'm doing a caricature of your. What do you like, tennis? Okay, and then he just holds up a flying saucer. I was like, what is it going to be? Is it going to be something different? But I'm an idiot. I'll watch anything.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think I would freak out if suddenly spacecrafts. I've seen
I
so
can't
much
wait.
about it. Yeah. That I think I would just be really calm and be like, I thought this was going to happen.
You thought so?
Yeah. Literally I think Close Encounters is
Yes.
the one that made me think this could be real. This
But
could happen.
Don't you feel like we're so well prepared for it
Yeah.
that I just how weird would an alien have to look for you to be like, oh, that's not what I expected?
Yeah, I
Right.
don't think I would be. I think maybe if they were underwater in their ship, I might be like, oh, I never saw that coming.
Right.
But any kind of reptile would be fine. And I already know what I would say.
Now, I know Close Encounters was a great movie,
Yeah.
Oscar-winning movie, I believe, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it won an Oscar, but it was
Okay,
well respected.
how much better would it have been with a big old gunfight? I remember as a kid, I was like, okay, so when does Dreyfus really throw down with these aliens? They ruined his marriage.
Yeah.
He had to move.
He left his children.
His job as an electrical engineer. What was he again? He ran
he was doing
power
something.
plant.
Yeah.
Wait, he just gets on the ship.
Well, in his defense, he was obsessed with those mashed potatoes.
Right.
He was driven almost fucking nuts from it. Was driving him crazy.
But how many marriages have broken up over an alien message? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Usually it's gambling, maybe drugs.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's probably a support group for that.
Yeah. I'm sure there are people with alien addictions where they just won't drop it. they won't drop it at all.
Remember the kid is just crying at the dinner table because he's like, my dad's so weird. He won't stop with these fucking mashed potatoes.
When you see that Spielberg documentary, right, on his life, he based that on himself, on his own dad, where he saw his dad cry, and like he just started yelling at his dad, like he was too fucked up from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was all because his dad, he thought, cheated and was with somebody because their parents were getting divorced, but his mom had taken his dad's best friend,
right,
and then he kept that quiet.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
So that they would still like their mom.
So he wins the best wingman and drip award. I'm a great wingman.
Spielberg put out a book called "My Dad Is a Cuck," and it's so good.
David Attell, he'll be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas at the Rio Monday, February 18th. Go to comedycellar.com for tickets. And on Valentine's Day, you'll be in Vancouver. And this weekend, it's Tacoma, Washington, the 15th through the 17th. And in Phoenix, Arizona, February 22nd through the 24th. DaveAttell.com for tickets.
See, I didn't know Canada celebrated our holidays.
Yeah, just that one. Piggybacked. I'd like to say piggyback. But I guess this is originally an Italian holiday, right? It's a
Roman thing?
Yeah, Roman thing. Yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
Which is weird that we hold on to this one. You know, like,
of all the other holidays?
Yeah, I mean, they've had nothing but.
We don't celebrate Claudius's birthday the way we should, or of course Nero, Octavian. Although
Claus.
Julius Caesar, that's the month July is named after him.
Is that right?
Yeah, because he
Julius?
became godlike. He went from emperor, and he's like, "What else can you do for me? We'll make you a god."
Right.
So there you go.
This is where we are with Trump at the same exact time.
Right.
Who lost out to Caesars. So the whole thing comes full circle. Now, when you go to Vegas, you're doing the cellar in Vegas. Do you gamble at all, or do you stay
I do.
Yeah.
I like blackjack.
Yeah.
That's my game. I like to play, and of course, I go to lose, though.
Right.
I go to lose. A lot of people go to win. I go to lose. That's why I have like great game face during the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm laughing. I'm having a great time. 'Cause I don't drink anymore, so I pick a smoking table. It's my right, And I wonder if like the dealers that do the smoking tables, if they like get like extra pay. It's like coal mining.
Yeah. They should get another $250.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now you're back on cigarettes. I know you were doing the.
No, I
the
never really
vapes.
did I know Jay and all those
Yeah.
guys. They're younger, so they were doing the vaping and all that kind of. Right. I don't see the future in that. I don't see it.
Chris vapes throughout the show.
Love it.
And
That's
you gave
great.
up cigarettes completely, right?
Yeah, I haven't bought a pack of cigarettes in months and months and months.
So you've saved thousands of dollars, do you think?
Probably, yeah, because a pack of the Juul fucking pods are like $20. And
Right.
There's 4 of them, like one a day, 1.5 a day. That's
right.
Versus $15 for a pack.
But you don't get the same kind of relaxation. You don't
It's
get.
not the same. No, not at all.
But it's constant now because you used to take smoke breaks, but now you're never not vaping.
Yeah, I was smoking about a pack and a half of cigarettes a day, but now I'm just never not.
But people used to smoke at work.
True.
When I
Right,
started
so-
radio, we smoked the entire time that we were doing radio. And then years later, they were going like, "Well, you won't be able to smoke in radio," and everyone was like, "Then we'll quit." You know what I mean? Like, this is insane. What do you do? Sit there and not smoke while a song is playing?
Yeah, really. That must have been a lot of downtime. So
Yeah.
you had plenty of time to light up, huh?
Yeah.
So can you do that in an airport? Because I don't think you can.
They will not allow. Sometimes they'll say you can't have a vaporizer like through the like on your carry-on or anything.
Was that right?
Really?
Yeah, because they think some of them explode.
And what do you think of that kid? He was smoking, and then it exploded in his face, and unfortunately, he passed away.
Yeah, that was fucking shocking. But I don't think it was a Juul vaporizer. I think it was like another, like one of the large ones with like the fucking attachments. Like that's the one that fucking exploded.
What are you talking about? Like a IED? When he's sucking on an IED?
But she didn't get pregnant.
And
That's
an
the good
RPG
thing.
in his mouth.
Yeah.
Well, that's sad, dude. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's
I
really
appreciate
good.
it.
Yeah, no, it's a horrible habit and blah blah blah. But
still like to
you know, Vegas is one of the few places you can smoke. I assume part of the Carney attraction was the ability to smoke.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Did you ever think that you were being infiltrated by like an agent, who would that be? Like state gaming regulation?
Oh yeah, there was kind of people. It was always locals, and the people at the top would do whatever money deal that had to be done all the time to get into a local fucking town. There would always be a little bit of cash going back and forth because, well, it's a corrupt country. But but yeah, so you would pay off so that stuff doesn't happen.
This could be your Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
where
it
you
could,
like have a guy go undercover into the
yeah.
carny world.
Yeah.
To figure out who stole the $80 bingo prize.
Robbie Robertson from the band, he was the same thing. He was Carney when he was younger, and then he did the movie Carney, which
Not that good.
didn't nail it. I don't think he had the budget to do, but he looked exactly like a Carney. I mean, he played it perfect.
What is it called? The movie Carney?
It's called Carney. Young Jodie Foster is in it. Robbie Robertson.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, and it's the then the nut who got brain damage.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey. He plays the guy that you fucking knock in the water.
The dunking.
Yeah. Which
Wow, this is a long time ago, right?
Yeah,
1980.
Yeah. But if you even look at his look, I mean that's the there's always a dude that's running, he's kind of in between the big guy who you don't see that much and the people, like he's always walking around every day and he's making sure people get their mail, and if anybody are you in debt, we can loan you some money and all that. But there's always that fucking dude. And
it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have. It just didn't have the budget.
Mhm.
You saw it, Earl?
Yes, I've seen it. A couple
I'm gonna
of
go
times. I
watch
love
it.
Yeah.
And he's and Robbie's great in it. He's fantastic.
Look at how handsome he is.
Robbie
He really is handsome.
Yeah, Robbie kind of.
He's like a Bollywood De Niro.
Yeah,
Am I right?
And Scorsese is the guy who kind of discovered him he did the movie The Last Waltz, which
Oh,
was a
right.
documentary. And then because he looked so good in The Last Waltz, they started to offer him film roles.
because he
But-
looks like a movie star. Yeah.
Well, Levon Helm was furious, saying every close up is on Robbie.
That is
I'm
true.
fucking singing. You just have a close up of Robbie just sitting there having a fucking lumpy omelet.
I wonder what the other carnies thought of the movie. Like, do you think they had a special screening where they got their folding chairs out? I can't really hear it when we got that. We got the what is the thing? The bounce house engine going.
David Attell is going to be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas at the Rio Monday, February 18th. ComedyCellar.com for tickets. On Valentine's Day, he'll be in Vancouver. This weekend in Tacoma, Washington, and next week in Phoenix, Arizona. DaveAttell.com for tickets.
Ron, I like when you come to the cellar and you do some time because you're really, really, really good, and I love watching you and all that. But do you feel that because now I feel like I've hit the wall. I'm probably the oldest guy at the cellar now.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like I'm the old Sam Elliott. of the
Right,
group.
you are, yeah.
They're respectful to me, but you can tell that they have
Yeah.
their own ways,
Right.
their own ideas. So.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of taking it even further now with more of a Mr. Rogers kind of feel to it, where I
Right.
walk out, and for half of my time, I'm just taking my shoes off and putting on other shoes. That would be a great way to kill time.
Well, they do gather around you like little bunnies. All the comedians want to be Dave Attell's friend. It's their first thing of feeling like I belong.
At the cellar?
Yeah, at the cellar.
Well, I like I like seeing the new people there because we need some new blood in there for sure.
Yeah.
With the passing of William Stevenson.
Yeah,
And you were at the memorial.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure the carnies would have done it totally different. They would have that one empty seat on the Ferris wheel, pair of boots backwards on the merry-go-round, whatever they do. But that's a carny funeral.
Yeah.
They just dump him at a
Yeah.
rest stop. Did you check his pockets? He always had an extra 20 in his shoes. That was sad, but you got to see everybody, all the generations of comics
Well,
together.
yeah,
there were guys who were there when I first started,
Yeah.
came in, and
Who were the guys?
it was cool. Like Phil Nee, do
Yeah.
you know him? Let's see, there was a few other ones. Eddie Brill, of course, was there, and
Yeah,
you know
really,
Eddie, right?
Yeah, great.
And let's see, Joe was there. I'm trying to think of who else.
I forgot that Eddie Brill was actually booking the Letterman,
Show for like
a lot
10 years.
Yeah,
easy.
for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm. And he was a comic before that.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch, just a bunch of people from like the early days, from when the cellar wasn't as popular as it is now. you know?
Right.
Mhm.
You were around for all that when the place.
Yeah,
was
when
dead.
it was like like Kevin Brennan, me, and
Yeah.
a few others. Like we were like the young comics there, and it would be empty. Like there was no waiting online or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just basically, everybody always tells the story of like shows where they would have like the waitresses sitting in the room just so it looks like there was a crowd.
Well, now, I mean, it runs like Disney World. There's just lines going in it.
Yep.
And I can't even believe that they pull it off.
Yes,
You know what I
they
mean? I
could.
can't believe that there's this many and that Esty is booking all these shows.
Absolutely, all over the
by
place.
hand. And, you look up and you're like, thousands of people have come through here over the, the course of a weekend.
Mhm.
And they get off the plane to come here.
That's
like,
true.
There's so many people that were like, this is the first thing in New York that they do.
They bring their rolling bag to the club, which is usually a sign of they're not going to like the show. Jet lag plus language.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some people they're basically foreign language speakers, and they're just like, oh, okay, I get it now.
They get a bunch of stuff though. I mean, like especially I noticed now like the Nordic countries, like they have like a really dark sense of humor. So I think they really enjoy like especially the late night aspect to it. I think they like that.
Well, I mean, that is the last of that old school New York thing, cabaret type stuff, because we don't do that as much. Have you seen this TV show, Russian? I think it's called Russian
Doll?
Yeah.
No, I've heard about it from 3 people now. Is it that good?
There's and the bar that's in it, 7B, is a bar that has shown up in so many movies.
Classic bar.
Over the year, yeah.
7B.
Yes, and it's just, it's called, I think, 7B Horseshoe.
The Horseshoe Bar.
Yeah.
Horseshoe Tavern.
And
that's the old East Side.
yeah.
Mhm.
And that was like, right in front of Thompson Square Park where there was the riot and shit like that.
Were you here during the squatting?
When they used to live, I used to come in and out of New York then, and that would just be people living in that park. But that bar showed up in Sleepers. It showed up in the Paul Newman movie, The Verdict.
Yes.
It was in Angel Heart.
it wasn't
It was
beautiful.
It was in Godfather 2. It's
Wow,
where and that movie is supposed to. What is there? A whole thing on it?
There's a
Chris?
compilation of just the movies that 7B showed up in. I just found.
Ridiculous. Yeah, and it's just that's how much people look for an authentic thing.
Right.
There's so few authentic bars left in New York.
Yeah.
Do you think they had the same problem when they were doing The Wire in Baltimore?
We
need an authentic crack corner.
Right.
We need a hood rat to walk down and.
I remember I was coming back from the DC, the radio station there on the train.
Oh, Serpico.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Serpico was, and that was early 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was
73, I think, or 72.
This was probably legitimate, considered like, it's a nice modern bar. You can go in there, and now it'll get used for all other things.
Wow.
But did you ever see Sleepers where they go back after Kevin?
So good, man.
What's his name? Kevin
Bacon?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Exactly.
It was the kids that he had molested when he was younger.
That's right. That's in that bar.
Yeah. A friend of mine got dosed there one night, which is always exciting. Like, hey, did you do this? No. Maybe it was one of these other guys.
So this is like that's old New York, the East Side, and that's like for those who've never been to New York, that was like Alphabet's, like
Alphabet City.
Yeah, that was like a dangerous part of New York, and now it's not like that.
You just don't cross.
I used to live around there.
You don't cross Avenue B.
Right.
That was a respectful.
I used to live on B.
Yeah, just like B. Stop there.
We would look off into Avenue C, like the DMZ in North Korea. Like, I see movement.
In those days, when you would get the map of New York, like the subway map, right? It would go to Avenue A, and then they would have like serpents and shit in the East River. You're like, don't go any further at all.
That's why this Amazon thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah. You
don't think anything about it because I don't know whose side I'm on yet.
As far as what the Jeff Bezos thing goes?
Is Amazon coming here?
Or coming to New York?
I don't think it's going to come. I don't
You don't
think it's
think
going to
so?
happen. No. I don't think
25 good paying jobs in New York. Like it's a dust bowl here.
Right.
Good paying jobs.
Yeah, good paying jobs. we if that happens, we'll be able to bring the fucking Pony Express through here.
I think they should split the difference and build it on Roosevelt Island, like that little gondola island.
yeah.
That would be great. Nothing's going on there right now. Anyhow, they have at least 2 haunted insane asylums that I've heard about.
Just wedge it right in between those.
They've got the
Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, Typhoid Mary was actually sent there, and there was another weird. Like, there's been some famous people that they would row a boat out there.
Yeah.
They just put them like, we don't know what to do.
So they
with you.
did all the smallpox people were sent there.
Sweet.
So actually,
And an
first
insane asylum.
insane asylum that had like a really dark history.
Tell
and
me
then,
one that doesn't.
Yeah.
Tell me a happy-go-lucky insane asylum.
I mean, this one was real bad. And then also, and then it was a plantation. There were slaves there.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's when it was called Blackwell. That was when it was called Blackwell.
It was called what?
Blackwell Island.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
No
it was-
wonder.
Yeah, and it was also like a relief. Didn't it have another weird name like Relief Island or Welfare Island? It was called.
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
while for people. But the gangs of New York.
Yes.
That's where he leaves from when he comes back.
Yeah.
Down, he was kind of raised there.
Do you think that's at the end of Gangs of New York? Do you think that's a positive thing that they're like, okay, well, New York has just gone through a racial tumult, whatever, of the draft riot,
right?
And now let's move to San Francisco.
Yeah,
that was their thing of like, let's just go to San Francisco.
Yeah.
What could happen to us on the way there?
Right. Yeah.
Actually, they were going by ship. Which
Yeah.
is the longest way. Like,
Right.
our relationship will hold. You a grifter and me head of the Dead Rabbits now.
The Dead Rabbits. I'll be like, I can't join a group called the Dead Rabbits. I don't think it sounds tough enough. The Dead Rabbits. Who we fighting? The Hell's Angels. We're gonna get killed.
They were against the loyalists, right?
Yeah.
Like much today, the nationalists.
Right.
They were out there. And definitely some great knife fighting. That's what I like.
Right.
You don't see that much in New York anymore.
It was knife and small hatchet. Just a guy
Knife
would
and
have
hatchet.
Yeah, just to have a hatchet
Yes.
for a fight.
And that hurts, you know.
That
Oh
does.
yeah, it doesn't feel good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Both illegal in New York now.
Yeah, sad, isn't
Can't-
it?
yeah, can't carry any kind
everything's
of weapon.
changed. Everything's changed.
Although, whatchamacallit, nunchucks are making a comeback.
I hope so.
But only the foam ones. Foam nunchucks.
I
Which
use
I
them in
assume in
my
the corny
pool.
world, right?
Yeah.
There has to be one guy. Come on.
Yeah.
David Attell, he'll be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas at the Rio Monday, February 18th. Valentine's Day, he'll be in Vancouver this weekend in Tacoma, Washington. Next weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. DavidDell.com for tickets and ComedyCellar.com for tickets to the Vegas show.
Dave's agent books him through Canada during February.
Yeah.
Be traveling by sled dog.
I'm going to sled, then I'm going to float plane out down to Seattle. I'm actually going to take the whale watch in reverse. I'm using it for
Right.
transportation, not like everybody else to go see the whale watch.
Yeah, that's
that
nice.
ship. Yeah, I hope it works out for me
Yeah.
because I know they don't get much snow in that part of the country. Do you ever get out west or no?
Not often, but Seattle didn't used to get snow at all.
Yeah,
It'd be
exactly.
too wet. It's snow there now.
Yeah.
'Cause we're sitting here now.
It's another town, totally
Yeah.
different.
Oh,
Really, totally
Well.
different. The .com stuff. Have
Yeah,
you been
blame the
watching any of
internet.
these shows?
Yeah.
The what is it? What's the first
Valley
one?
of the Boom. I know
Yeah,
you
have you-
watched.
yeah, we're watching
I-
that.
I watched the whole thing. Did you watch it all? Or?
I only got like up to the Netscape IPO part. Did it get better? Did they make it? Where are you? So yeah, there's definitely angels and villains in the early days of the
Sure.
of the thing.
I can't believe that we never got involved in it. It seems like
that's
we should have.
Absolutely.
You know?
Exactly. I don't know why we didn't see this as like the big thing.
Right.
You know?
I actually, our friend Flipper, his wife was into it early, and she was asking us to invest. And I had agent at the time, and we listened to her talk, and it all was fucking crazy to me. And he's like, I don't think that we should do it. And she went around years later saying, what we could have been Craigslist. That's how early on
Really?
she had the idea. It was like Craigslist or one of those where you just let people sell shit to
Right.
each other. But I didn't understand any of it. I'm going, where is this internet? Where's it actually at?
Right. That's
Yeah.
they show that thing with Katie Couric going, what is the internet? What,
Right,
Can
and
you
that's
explain
the
to me what
90s.
internet is?
Yeah, and that's the 90s.
I don't remember it either. I
Yeah.
don't remember the whole thing. I still
Yeah.
have the flip phone, I show it all the time.
Right.
But this is probably 15 years old now, I guess,
Right.
in terms of technology.
Sure.
And,
which is a lifetime now.
It's
You
a
know what I
lifetime.
mean? It's a lifetime.
It is.
Yeah.
So, but I don't find it interesting at all. And you know, I know it's like the future and all that, but now people want actual things. They want self-driving cars, right? Do they,
Right.
or they
Yeah,
don't?
they do.
Okay, there you go. So they want actual things,
Right,
You know, they don't want like
physical
the technology is there already, right?
Well, I was just telling Gail, I'm like, what was it? Maybe 7 or 8 years ago, if you had a car service, you were a wealthy person.
Yeah.
You know, you were a CEO. Tell the car to pull up, and now everybody in the
you're
city
right.
has Uber. You know, but that was the mark of, oh, he's a big lawyer. They gave him a car service.
And the thing that's funny about that too is now, you know, an SUV shows up for you. It's no better than what, let's say, a celebrity would
Celebrities
show up.
pull up in SUVs all the
So,
time.
We
it
don't
works
use
at-
limos anymore. Like, that's silly.
When I get an Uber, I use Chris's phone, and it's fucking free.
I pay for it, right? It's just not. It's not free.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the celebrities are trying to get ahead of the curve by going with the drones. The
Right,
the drones
the
where they can
drones.
fly over the
Yeah.
car services.
Right.
So there you go. But you're right about that. I never thought about that. I remember that when I used to temp.
Yeah.
They would be like, "Can you call me a car service?" And I'd
Right.
be like, "Wow, I wish all of us could have those one day. This
Yeah.
sounds like a good idea." No, it'll never work.
Right. You could have been on the ground floor. You could have done it.
But everybody has good ideas. It's all about follow through. I don't have the follow through.
I don't
for
do it either. I don't
Yeah.
want to work at stuff.
Well, yeah,
I
you
like-
got to have that, like,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Ambition, drive.
The American thing.
Yeah, I don't have the American thing. I have more of a Spanish siesta thing. I like to nap often, you know?
I hear you. But, who knows what the next thing is. I think New York has never been worse for congestion.
No,
It's never been worse. And, like, as a car owner in this town,
Yeah.
I don't see it getting any better, And the only people I do feel sorry for are the guys who push their jobs, the guys who push their, carts and stuff like that. The ones who have to do that, the food truck
Yeah,
thing.
you'll
but
see
they don't
them
have-
3 o'clock in the morning, you're shoving this thing down the street. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always wonder why it's like that. Like that's how it works.
Yeah.
Where you just push the job back to the
Yeah. You go and push it back. You go. There's stables right over here on the west side where they bring those carts and the horses from Central Park.
The saddest horses in America.
Yeah, the saddest horses.
So depressing.
But a lot of those horses moved to New York to be actors. So you can't feel that bad for them. They saw McLeod in the 70s and other horse. Let's show the horses of.
Yeah, McLeod did have a fucking horse in New York.
I remember that, yeah.
He was just riding through New York. But is the horse the only animal that needs to be shoed? Is there any other? Do you have to
Dogs now in this town? Dogs wear boots because of the salting of the street.
Right. Oh yeah, the salting is bad.
That's what they say, but amongst each other, they want to look hot. Sorry, that's a sampling of it.
You're gonna get some of this when you get to Tacoma.
And Monday in Las Vegas, this Monday, February 18th,
Take your time, Chris.
David Attell will be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas at the
Starting
Rio.
from the top.
Okay.
So like, it sounds like a
Yeah.
pleasant
I think
thing.
go ahead.
Yeah. David Attell. He'll be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas at the Rio Monday, February 18th. ComedyCellar.com for tickets. And then on Valentine's Day, he'll be in Vancouver this weekend in Tacoma, Washington, and next weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. DavidTell.com for tickets.
Then I'm going to retire in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, that'd be
What do you
nice
think?
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be
Beautiful
great.
weather in the
Yeah.
summer.
Is it? Yeah.
I like it. Do you like it out in the
Oh
the
yeah,
desert?
yeah,
Do you
I like
the desert?
Sedona is my favorite place.
I've never been there.
Yeah.
I've heard so many
Really
good things
cool.
about it.
Yeah.
What's that like out there? Is
Well,
it
it's magic stones that you get, and people are meditating
right?
in the desert.
It's a food town, too.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
like
a
a
food
foodie
town.
town.
And then at night, everyone turns off the lights, and you can see the stars coming right down to the horizon. It's like
Oh, that's beautiful.
You're a total dome. Yeah. What about you, Dave?
I love the desert. Too.
Yeah, you
New
love it?
Mexico. I'm doing
Yeah.
a casino there.
Right.
In the summer, the best part. It's outside of Albuquerque,
Mhm.
so I like to be near where they originally did the nuclear testing or whatever it is. Whatever they did, the
Yeah.
A-bomb test
Yeah.
out there. Little boys in my room.
little boy and fat something. Everyone was
Yeah.
like fat nurse.
Get a little boy sub with every. But
and then they didn't even alert those people that anything dangerous was happening.
Well,
They
no
were
one knew it
looking
was
out the win-
dangerous.
Yeah, they were looking out the window. Oh, there's another cloud. Kids, come to the window quickly. Look at that. Stare into that. That's little boy.
When you watch those old A-bomb tests,
Yeah.
you know, like with the scientists, they're wearing
Yeah.
the goggles, of course.
Yeah.
And they're also wearing suits like they were going to go out afterwards.
Right.
That's what I always think. It's like, okay, then let's go out to eat now.
Yeah.
Are you dressed up? Make sure you wear a jacket because we're going to go someplace fancy. We just created an atom bomb,
Right.
the most dangerous weapon ever known to man.
You know, my dad was in the Philippines during World War II, and he was a kid, of course, training to hit the beach in Japan. Right?
Oh,
they were gonna
wow.
do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then he said, and then thankfully they shot off those, atomic
A-bomb.
weapons, and I didn't have to do it. And he goes, "That's when I got home." He goes, "My first vote was for Truman." And I go, why? He goes, "Hey, he ended the war. He dropped those bombs, and I didn't have to go in there." Like he's still
There's
like,
a lot.
the
That's
last,
absolutely right.
yeah, the last guy alive that feels like the most positive thing that we've ever done because it's maybe saved him and his buddies.
Yeah, no,
You
they
know?
said it would have been a bloodbath.
Yeah.
They really like. There's other like actors who were the same age where they were like
Yeah.
they actually were in the end towards the end of World War II and they were like so
Right.
excited that like they didn't have to go because they said that it was going to be like 1 million casualties.
Right.
If we had to hit the beaches, they were fanatical. They were not giving up.
Well, our boss Jack, his father,
Was on the other side.
Yeah. And yeah, he was on the other side.
He was ready to fight.
But he wrote this book that I couldn't believe how crazy it is. And he goes, one night they sat up, and this is in the Philippines, and the Japanese soldiers are just like a mile away. And he goes, but we had so many more. And they heard them drinking all night. They were just getting fucked up all night. And then when it got done, like 10,000 drunk guys
Yeah.
just come running at
A
them.
bonsai.
Yeah, they just
Whoa.
knowing that they were going to die, and they were fucking wasted, and they just had to just spend like hours just shooting these guys down.
Holy
Just
shit.
hours
man.
and days.
That's insane.
He must have been a fun dad around Christmas.
Yeah, he was. What's the name of the book? Kill the Gringo was the name of it.
Well, that's a cool name.
Yeah, and his dad wrote up all this stuff. He was like down in Central America, and
Oh, is he
stuff.
like a special operations?
Yeah,
kind
he
of
was
guy?
like he was an ambassador to this shit. He ended up in like Kennedy's fucking
I've gotta
White
read
House and all
this.
this. Is unbelievable.
Kill the Gringo, the light.
But it
Oh, the
is-
Peace Corps. That's right.
Yeah, he was the second guy. He was the second director of the Peace Corps after
Yeah.
Sergeant Shriver.
You know, in D.C., when I played D.C., you walk around town, you see all these buildings, the government buildings. But I remember the Peace Corps building.
Yeah.
And I was like, wouldn't that be great? You join the Peace Corps and like you think you're going to have this adventure overseas helping people.
Right.
And they just make you work the phones. Like in D.C. Hello, Peace Corps. Yeah, no, it's usually like a 1.5-year commitment.
Yeah.
You need inoculations for like this. Hello, Peace Corps. What an adventure.
Yeah. Well, you must know Jack Vaughn from Comedy Central, right?
Yes,
He
I
did-
do. Is that his dad?
That's his dad. Yeah.
Wow, that explains it.
Make that picture, but he
Yeah.
looks just like Jack. I mean,
Jack is an interesting guy
yeah.
too.
Well, Jack, this is the reason why Jack will go to crazy places
Sure.
around
He's
the world.
a scuba guy.
Yeah, because he grew up like,
Right.
oh, we're going.
It's like Adventure Man.
Yeah, like
Cool.
Jack was over in Iran as a kid before the the thing.
When it was
fell.
good.
Yeah, when it was
fun over there.
when they used to play disco. And people were like, hey, it's a great.
That's how I got
Yeah.
into comedy records.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen to
Yeah, Jack started a fucking
Red
one-nighter.
Fox in Tehran in '78.
You ever see those pictures?
Oh,
of-
it's
yeah,
insane.
Where they're
It's
like
so
girls are
wild.
wearing mini skirts and shit.
Yeah, and they're all dressed so like wild 70s colors and like dudes
Yeah, these
with,
are like the
long hair
grandparents.
with
By the way, these are their grandparents. by the
Yeah.
way.
They literally went the wrong direction.
I don't know. Some of those flare pants, though,
Yeah.
really, when you think about it,
Yeah.
slows it down.
It somebody should have kicked up some shit over that.
I would put a scarf over my head too if I had to wear that. Look at that. So
That is
wow,
hilarious.
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Beautiful, though.
Yeah.
Dark. I like
yeah,
that.
oh yeah, everybody
Oh,
does. You know,
God,
like everyone's dream is a runaway Palestinian woman. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
here,
that's
I'll
Natalie
hide you.
Wood, though. She always
Yeah.
is confused for everything. She's an interesting look herself.
Yeah. Why would you have a picture of Natalie Wood? Up
I don't know.
there?
Maybe that was a stamp or
Yeah.
something.
Did you ever See that last movie that Natalie Wood was in? It was
Yes.
Yeah, what a fucking weird.
What was it called?
It's like Brainstorm or Brain.
That was
something.
with who's the other guy from
Christopher Walken
yes.
was in it. Yeah, and
he's
that
a great actor too.
Yeah,
that guy.
and that was they were all together on that boat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
yeah, that whole story is.
Yeah, and then they had had reshoots. And just some woman with a coat up over her face like this. It's me, Natalie Wood. David Attell, so great to see you, my friend.
Oh, thanks for having me
Thank you so
in.
much for coming in.
Can I say to the fans, have a great, safe weekend. I hope to see you guys on the road. I have so many dates coming up. But I love doing this show. I love seeing you at the Cellar. So,
thank you,
dude,
man.
we got to do some more comedy together. All right, guys, have a great one.
All right.
David Attell, for Valentine's Day, he'll be in Vancouver this weekend in Tacoma, Washington. And then on Monday, February 18th, he'll be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas at the Rio. Go to comedycellar.com for tickets. And next weekend, he'll be in Phoenix, Arizona. DavidTell.com for all his dates and tickets.
He's the funniest. It's agreed upon by everybody. All right. Thank you, Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington.
Thanks, Chris.
Shuli's in studio.
Yeah.
It's the song in my head you guys are playing. I walk around every day with this one.
Shuli's new double album, Shulogy, the Sober and Wasted Shows, is available now for pre-order on iTunes. It comes out February 27th. And Shuli will be at Laugh It Up in Philly this Friday and Saturday, sjpcomedy.nightout.com for tickets. And you can see Shuli every night on Twitch at 10 p.m. East.
Oh, yeah.
Now, is this drunk Shuli we're getting, or is this
No,
sober
this is sober
Shuli?
Shuli.
Okay,
Yeah.
I never know which
That's why
one's
I'm
coming in.
nervous, you know?
Now, are you, when you did this, you recorded the two shows. Are they the same show? One drunk, one sober?
No, it's. I mean, there's a break, there's a new audience, and there's another show. The set list is the same in theory, but I went, like, you ever go to an amusement park and there's not a lot of people there, and you get on the roller coaster and you ride it, and then they go, you guys want to do it backwards? And they're like, yeah, and they run it back. So I did the same set, but I started at the end and went to the beginning. For not a choice that I was going to make, but the spirit moved me.
Now, I've heard a clip of you when you were drunk, and you didn't sound crazy drunk. You're one of those guys that can barely keep it together.
My thing is, I'm not a big drinker. Yeah. I'm a bit of a lightweight.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I'm more of an herbalist, and that is usually my the way I go up usually is just a nice stone, nice little high.
Right.
Slows everything down, gets me ready, helps me forget a bit or two every time. Yeah. But that's usually the way I go up. So the nerve-wracking part for me was the sober set.
See, I'm always surprised because I would think that weed would be more difficult.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Because you get that extra voice going in your head.
Well, for me, I started in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I played in front of 12s of people a night that were only there because they ordered a steak and lobster at the coffee shop and got a free ticket. And I hated every single time I went up. And then one night I got stoned and I was up there and it went a little bit better, but I also really didn't give a shit that much. I didn't beat myself up afterwards. Like I used to have a rule. 10 minutes after a shitty set, I could beat the shit out of myself. And then I would stop. Tomorrow's a new day.
Right.
We start fresh. And I got tired of beating the shit out of myself.
Yeah, even those 10 minutes was difficult.
Oh, my God. I barely had 10 minutes of beating myself up.
Yeah.
Forget material.
I still, people will like, if I go down to do it, and they'll go, do you mind if we do it this way instead? Would you go up third instead of fifth? I go, I'm not even going to remember this fucking show. Why are we making a big deal about it? This show will be forgotten by all of us, including the audience. Who cares what happens?
Yeah. It's funny, the stages where it's so serious, and it's the biggest thing in the world when you start out. Every show, massive. This could be the one.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
My name's not on the thing. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'll do it anyways.
Yeah. That is, when your name doesn't appear wherever, that could crush you when you're a young person. And now I'm like, oh, thank God you left me off an embarrassing fucking...
not attached to this sinking ship.
Yeah.
I remember a gig that I thought was so big at the time, early on in Vegas. I got booked to do a spot at a youth hostel to open for a magician who happened to be close to 90 and asleep in the front row while I'm opening for him.
Well, no, you thought it was big because it was
Because it was a paid gig, number one, and there were so few of those when I started, especially in Vegas.
Yeah.
So it was like there was nowhere to perform, number one, and then to get paid to do it, forget it.
Yeah.
Nobody was doing it. So for me, and I literally had to like yell into the mic to wake him up as I'm introducing him. You know?
Who did Stanhope also start it in Vegas?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Stanhope was a big help for me and my friends as far as places that were open to us putting together open mics and some sort of circuit in Vegas for comedy. Because the hotels had clubs, but they didn't invest anything in amateurs or
People
beginners.
would think that the clubs would be interested, but they're not at all. Not at all.
No, they got, booked guys, represented guys. It's like a factory. They're flying in every week, and that's it. They just want people to get drunk and lose money.
Yeah.
They don't care about the art form at all.
Yeah.
So that was a tough place to start, man.
Yeah. It's not easy.
No.
It is not easy. Of course, most places, like I'm always amazed by people who go, I decided I wanted to go to comedy. I'm going to go to New York or LA. And I'm like, what are you doing? Go to bumfuck for 4 or 5 years. Become the biggest thing in bumfuck.
I was terrified of coming out here.
Yeah.
LA, I put my time in before I started doing stand-up, and I lived in LA, I went to school out there, so I really wasn't looking forward to going back to start comedy there.
Yeah.
But the East Coast scared the shit out of me. I'd never been out here. I knew there's 50 different ways to get to one spot.
Yeah.
I don't know any of them, And as soon as I got out here, the thing I realized right away is that the comedy world here respects you for being funny. End of story.
Right.
That's
else.
it. That's it. If you're funny, if you write and you're coming up with new shit and you're working, then they respect you. They welcome you with open arms.
Yeah.
And I love that about the East Coast.
Yeah, the East Coast, it's because I think that there is an industry watching shows. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
There isn't any reason to not go up and do anything other than the show itself. There's not another reason to be there.
Nobody's standing outside the club going, "Oh, you got a new car? Let's see it."
Yeah.
New iPhone, nice.
Right.
New shoes. Like nobody gives a shit. New bit. I want to hear that.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
Yeah. Chris, let's make sure we plug this. I don't know what's gotten into you that it's something you don't feel like you have to do.
This is such a professional looking show till you turn to the right.
Yeah, I know.
and it looks like a ship was just boarded.
Right. Well, people don't even know that, and people are like, "Why is Chris with you?"
Yeah.
But it's because
it's kind of
years ago, and I think we're going back about 12 years, right?
12 years, yeah.
I shot a guy and I handed the gun to this youngster and I go, get rid of this. And I never had to worry about it.
Never saw that gun again.
Yeah.
He's the shine to your P. Diddy.
Yes,
everybody
thank you
remembers
very
that.
much.
Thank you.
Shuli's new double album, Shulogy, The Sober and Wasted Shows, is available now for pre-order on iTunes. It comes out February 27th, and Shuli will be at Laugh It Up in Philly this Friday and Saturday, sjpcomedy.nightout.com for tickets.
Now, you're a family guy, so how often do you go out? Do you go out much? Or
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, for me, once we had kids, I because my wife, she deals with a lot, man. I'm here putting in 8 hours and then to go hang at a club for another 4 or 5 hours
Right.
and get spot pay during the week. And there's nobody there to tag her out.
Yeah.
That only lasts for so long. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like, if I'm leaving the house, I'm making us some money. Otherwise, I'm here and I'm going to help out and be a part of everybody's lives. And the material comes from that. And then wherever I'm performing, I just gotta work it, man. I just
Yeah.
gotta try and get it in where I can.
I always think of like, where would you be now without those kids and that responsibility? I
Yeah.
always think to myself,
Yeah.
because you could have been huge. But,
what are you gonna
you
do?
did the right thing.
I mean, look, you guys get to work together now.
Yeah. Last night, I'm walking through the village and, I get this pop up and it's from Deadline and it says Crank Yankers is coming back, right? I'm like, fuck, I can't believe this. I turn around, I'm walking down the street and I see Florentine and his son, Luke. And I'm like, Crank Yankers is coming back. And Florentine's like, yeah, right, sure. And I go, I'm serious. It
Nose
just
to
popped
me.
up. And then his son grabs me and goes like this. Are they bringing back special ed?
Yeah.
He goes, we still have the puppet.
I love it.
His kid manages him, I think.
Yeah.
His kid is
Luke is
on
the
top
best.
of it.
He's
And then
a
his-
star, man.
Then his kid was going like this, yay, I got mail, yay. I'm like, dude, enough time has passed back that special ed as a kid.
Special ed and his son,
Yeah.
Special ed Junior on
Adorable.
a call. How great is that going to be?
You know, do you think that they'll let him do special ed again, or have we
You think?
moved into?
Yeah, might not be okay anymore.
Yeah.
It's possible that that
First
wouldn't
of
fly
all,
these days.
it's always okay. Let's just get that out there. Maybe we're not okay with it at this point, but it's always okay. He early on when I first started doing he came out to Vegas a few times. He was opening for Dice. He invited me to shows, and then he invited me once to a recording of one of these Crank Yankers calls from the studio, and it was fascinating because the premise of the call was he was special ed and he was calling Alcoholics Anonymous, and they tried like 3 or 4 and it just wouldn't work, and then Jim just goes, "Try Georgia. It's a gold mine in Georgia." And next thing you know, the guy dials a number. They go, "Hello," and then for the next 7.5 minutes, Jim's, hey. He's always been such a cool dude.
Yeah,
man.
he's amazing. He's amazing.
Except being on the road with him, that's a little tough. But
well, remember when Louis did that fucking show where he was on the road?
Yeah.
With Florentine, and it was fucking so funny and then tragic.
Yeah. Well, people were like, "Jim, that was such great acting." I'm like, he's like Jerry Lewis in King of Comedy. There's no acting there.
Yeah.
That's Jim.
Right.
First time I ever did a gig with him, we're driving in the car. All of a sudden, I just smell this putrid smell. And he clearly farted. I go to roll down my window. Windows are locked. Then I feel the heat blasting, and it's like he did all this like a thief in a casino. Like I didn't even see his hands move. Good luck getting some fresh air. Walking into a show, sir. Everybody's turning around. He just keeps going. He's a 9-year-old. He's 9.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, what was that bit that they used to do back at NEW? It was like, you got a minute or something. Remember that thing, Earl? Like they'd stop by your office and they would always say something at the door and then keep going. And you'd be waiting like a fucking moron. And for some reason, all this shit was the funniest to them. So hilarious.
He would just go like, "Excuse me, yeah," and just
The fact that all of them fucking like mentored under fucking Dice is just the funniest of all.
They torture like newbie
Yeah.
comics too. They fuck with like I remember him and Jameson were doing a show somewhere, and this new comic was hosting, and he goes, "So what are you going to talk about when you go up there?" And he goes, "Well, I was going to tell a story about I was driving with my mom and I hit a dog the other day," and Jim goes, "Oh, you know what, Don? Don't you have a bit about hitting a dog?" And Don's like, "Yeah, I do." He goes, "Yeah, would you mind not doing that one?" He's like, "Okay, I could do this one about surfing." He goes, "You know what? I do a thing about windsurfing." So it's kind of, and this poor kid at one point goes home to get his notebook because he's out of jokes. They let him come back. This kid's pouring with sweat. The show hasn't even started yet. And then finally they're like, "It's fine. You can do whatever."
Do it. Good, because I was talking to Don.
Yeah.
My favorite fucking thing that they've ever done is that Bill's like, "Let me get my brother."
Oh.
The fucking phone call with that.
Yeah.
It is the funniest thing in the world.
Saturday's good for me, but let me check with my brother. And the what?
Grab that, Chris. I haven't
Let me
heard
put my
that in
brother
years.
on.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about those albums is it just goes to show you what scumbags people are, and how they'll hold on just to confirm a sale.
Absolutely, man.
What they will sit through. There's one where he drowns his grandfather in a bathtub, and the woman's like, "Call 911." He's like, oh, she goes, "Give him mouth to mouth," and he goes, "I'm not doing that. That's like kissing a guy." And then at one point he just goes, "So when is the package coming?" She's like, 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. Doesn't miss a beat.
Right. Because she's going to make $18 off this.
Yeah.
Is this the Let Me Get My Brother?
Yes, it's off of Terrorizing Telemarketers 3.
Oh. Gave up on it, though.
Nah.
She never gave up on it.
I love that she's pissed at first, and then she's like, "All right, fuck it, we're doing this."
Yeah.
She's just
She
like,
goes, "Sir, maybe I'll give this to a more qualified person." And then he goes, "Or trying to get the verification." She goes, congratulations. You're talking to me. You won.
You're the big winner.
Yeah. There's another one in that style called Sir, where the guy just tries to tell him direct, and he just goes, Sir. And the guy at one point just goes, I hear me? Like, you hear me? I hear me? Yeah, go ahead. And he always, there's a 9-minute epic called The Record that is maybe my favorite call of his. When it comes to scrambling people's brains, he's the best.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, and he's just so fucking frustrated. Like, there'll be times I'll be on their side, fucking tell them. I'll moved over. I'm like, these guys are assholes.
Oh, this guy's calling about toilet cleaner. He goes, "Oh, my roommates, our logs are on top of each other. Sometimes I got to push it down with a stick." The guy's like, "Grab it with your little hand." What do you mean, my little hand? They're both the same size.
Now, what gave you the idea to do a sober hour and a drunk hour?
Actually, Stevie Ray Vaughan gave me the idea because I've been a huge fan of his ever since I was a young lad.
Mm-hmm.
And in Vegas years ago at a Tower Records, remember those days? Double VHS video cassette of 2 live shows of his. And I looked at the years, and I saw that one year he was still using and fucked up, and the other years after he sobered up. And then I looked at the set list, and I saw there was a few of the same songs. And I was like, I wonder which one has the better version of Little Wing.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it, and I watched them both repeatedly. And I was fascinated by it. Because for me, the one where he was fucked up was a better show.
Yeah.
It was just a better show. There was just a different kind of energy. And so I'm sitting here thinking, well, I want to do an album, and it's got to stand out somehow. Whether you do it with lights off, lights on, I don't know what the gimmicks are these days, but I thought, you know what, that piqued my interest back then. I don't know that anybody's ever done this before.
I don't think so. I can't recall, other than they've done it with their own careers.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. Sober Kinnison or whacked Kinnison.
Right.
Sober Bill Hicks or whacked Bill Hicks. You know what I mean? I think there's a little more fun.
Sure,
Right.
there's less anger in the guys who are, you know, kind of out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, I mean, listen, for me, all I wanted at the end of the day with this album is for there to be a legit debate between people as to what they liked more. I didn't want it to be clear cut.
Right.
And so for me, listening to both albums, I knew the sober show went fine. The drunk show, there were parts I don't remember. Like, I got way more drunk than I planned on it.
Yeah, so you were a little blacked out.
At one point, I do say on the album, I looked at him and I just said, I don't remember what I've told you and what I haven't. So if you hear something, just laugh like you haven't heard it before.
Right.
And I was serious. Like, I didn't remember. So when I listened back to it, I'm like, wow, while the jokes are the same, the vibe is completely different.
Yes, absolutely.
There's crowd work involved. I'm loose.
Yeah.
I'm rapping with a guy and fucking with him the whole show. So it's different. And they're both really good. I'm proud of
it. It is fascinating that, you know, even if you're doing the same material, even if you're sober, it's not the same show ever.
No.
It's never the same show. And down at the Cellar now, they have 3 rooms that you need 3 different tones for.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it took me a little while to get that at the Pussycat. I'm like, I'm coming in too hot in this room. You know what I mean? You can't come in.
They're just like, they're all just comfortably lounging.
If you're at a VFW, you can't open with a cunt joke. That's one thing I've learned. But there's some that you can. That's the weird part.
Now, as far as like partying, I remember when I used to do late nights at NEW, and Anthony Cumia would do his show, and then he would go out for dinner and a few cocktails and a few more cocktails. And before he went back to Long Island, he would just swing in and sit in with us, right? And he would have some beers with him. And we would be having just the greatest fucking time. And then I would see him the next day, and he goes, dude, was I on your show last night? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, did I say everything wrong? I go, you were exactly the same as you are now.
Right.
I had no idea that you were drunk enough to be blacked out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he didn't slur, he didn't, his personality didn't change, but his brain had went away.
Right.
You know, his brain went somewhere else.
Weird.
Christy, you used to be a blackout drunk, or?
Well, I blacked out during our Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that was work related.
That's good.
Yeah,
We're not counting that.
But I used to black out 3 times a week or
Do
something.
you black out now?
Very rarely.
Might be a problem.
Yeah, 3 times a week is probably that's a lot for blackout.
I
Level.
will tell you this because a lot of people it happens later, but I used to black out in my early to mid teens.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would be, I enjoy drinking so much that I drank a lot and kept going. Where some people they sip or they find an interesting
weird.
night. I'd be like, while we're drinking, we could also snort something,
Right.
or smoke something. Will's Events. I did a joke last night, and he goes, "Ron, what do you mean when you say tripping?" I go, like tripping on acid. But why is it tripping? I go, you're a you grew up in Brooklyn. You're a fucking Haitian. You don't know what drugs are? Never did drugs. And he like if I was doing a thing on a drug dealer, it would be Will Events.
Right.
It would be the first person I'd hire.
The kid was a child soldier. He doesn't know about drugs. Fuck.
He was a 13-year-old lieutenant.
Don't you remember? You ate a tree branch and then you killed 77 people.
Was that the chat? What was that? The chat?
Yeah,
That they would
yeah.
chew on?
Oh, yeah.
Get them all wired
Yeah.
the fuck up.
It's fucking. I can't even give. I gotta give everything no sugar. My fucking kids. Those fuckers start dancing after sugar, and
Yeah.
there's no music playing.
Right.
And they. It's literally like you just created a mini cokehead in your house.
How old are they?
9 and 4. 2 girls.
And both of them get wired up on.
Oh my god, she'll start dancing. She's like just talking. You want to play Fortnite later? And just fucking a million miles. We should start a business together. Fucking chewing her face,
Yeah.
playing solitaire.
And like kids know it. Like they'll if they have a sleepover, they'll try to sugar up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're
Absolutely.
fucking literally partying.
Well, now she's writing jokes because she wants to do stand up comedy.
Oh, that's what are you waiting
So
for?
I said,
Yeah.
here's the setup, here's the punchline. Every day now, she comes to me with jokes. She's writing them. She says, tell me what you think of this one.
Oh.
She goes, what did the bucket say when it landed the awesome backflip?
What's that?
I go, what? And she goes, pussy fart. I go, what's wrong with you? The fuck kind of joke is that?
pretty good joke.
I think it's adorable. Some hair gets cut there.
Yeah. Well, she changed it to Pale did, and I go, pussy fart's 100 times funnier.
Although Pale did's pretty fucking good too.
No, she did tell me, where does Napoleon keep his armies? In his sleeveys.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, don't
Great.
ever be funnier than your father again.
That's really, at 9, really intelligent
Yeah.
fucking wordplay.
Yeah.
Earl, I wrote 2 jokes, but I can't tell them with you here.
Did they involve that word?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
That's my thing. Earl, you ever did blackface?
No.
Or does that offend yourself?
Oh,
We should have you do blackface, walk down the street, and see if anybody notices.
I think I would get a pretty big reaction if I walked down the street. in
I'm going to
blackface.
bet 0 reaction.
Just a big sign over his head. This man is in blackface. Just
Yeah,
see
we'd
what
have to
people
go that
say.
far.
Yeah.
What's his name? Nick Cannon
Yes.
has gone to war against Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, claiming that they were blackface before.
Oh.
Right, yeah. So put up photos.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's see who's where.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel is top right.
And who's he being? Like a
Carl Malone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Jimmy Fallon's below him.
What's he doing?
Shaft, maybe.
Oh.
And then Sarah Silverman is on the bottom.
In blackface,
In
but
blackface.
making a joke about blackface was the joke, but
Well, their thing is an homage.
Right.
I mean, Earl, you don't get mad at any of it, right? None of it makes you mad?
I
You have
think
a good
you
sense
could-
of humor about it all?
You can make the point without going into blackface.
Calm down, Earl.
Yeah,
Calm down.
yeah.
You're getting a little out of hand
You're
over
getting
there.
crazy.
Just throwing shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could rank
Don't make
these,
me defend myself.
Stand your ground, Ron.
Yeah.
if you could just rank these of offensive to least offensive,
Oh, that's
where
fun.
would you go? Like
That
pick
is
the three.
fun, Earl.
Pick the 3. You got Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Sarah Silverman, all doing blackface.
I'm gonna go number 1. The one on the left that is
I don't
Yeah.
even know who that is. That's not the three.
That's
Just
Clinton.
do the
Isn't that
three.
Clinton?
The three.
Yeah, that's Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Is that Hillary?
Yeah, let's just go these
The
top
three, as I said.
I would go Sarah Silverman.
Sexist. That's sexist.
Yeah,
that you picked hers.
misogynist.
Because I mean, look at Sarah. It highlights the lips. Like,
Well, she's trying to make fun of blackface.
Right. It was specifically for black.
Who's next?
Fallon 2 and Kimmel
why
3.
Why is Fallon more offensive than Kimmel?
Well, no, I take that back. Kimmel, then Fallon. I'm sorry, but I mean, the Kimmel one is just like you just might as well, poke the lips out and put a watermelon in his hand.
Okay.
Well, can we expand the picture? I think there's more to the shot.
But yeah, they're all. But the Sarah Silverman one, they're like, good
Well,
God.
Earl, I'm going to bring this up since you won't. Years ago, and Earl and I have been good friends forever. He went out in Jew face.
Oh, yeah.
God,
I remember that.
Sarah Silverman would find that offensive.
Right.
So there you go.
You walked around looking in pain all day?
Is it offensive if men dress like women? Like the football team always does the wig, the
the powder
lipstick.
puff. Powder puff? Yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, look, my big tits are bouncing.
I don't know. It seems more like weird and stupid that they do it. I think, honestly, powder puff, I think, is more just like, repressing gay feelings is more than anything. So I've always thought they enjoy it.
Why do you think gay instead of transgender?
Because I feel like it's more about the brotherhood of doing it, and there's like a like role playing as women.
Sports
as
is pretty homoerotic.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I remember once I was playing on a football team, and I go, guys, I love each you enough to blow everybody here. And they go, we love you too. And we all just started touching each other.
But I can't really. I don't think I can really point fingers, considering like I find drag queens entertaining. So
Right. But
and
at least
that's
they work at it.
Our running back was gay. Because he was blowing me, and I'm like, this is the third time.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm starting to see
after
gay.
2, it's gay.
Yeah. This isn't experimenting anymore.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Shuley's new double album, Shuley.
Brilliant idea, right, Chris?
Brilliant, I
Let's be in the
love
moment.
Double album.
Don't just read. Be here with us.
I am.
Talk
I'm
to
here.
us about
I'm
it.
Are you blacked out right now?
Not that I know of.
right.
It's a double album. One show sober, one show is intoxicated, and it's available now for pre-order on iTunes. Comes out February 27th, and Shuley will be at Laugh It Up in Philly this Friday and Saturday. Go to sjpcomedy.nightout.com for tickets.
I think this is such a brilliant idea. I can't tell you how fun I was when I drank. But
maybe Gail's got some stories.
Yeah. Well, Gail's, the beauty of it is like this is a family tradition.
That is true.
I mean, we go back as far as we can go back. We're people, but there's a little bit of Irish in there, right?
Yeah.
So, maybe that is a traditional thing. Chris, your folks, did they drink or?
My dad drank and did drugs. My mom never really drank.
He was a heroin.
Yeah, he shot heroin.
But I bet when he was doing heroin, he didn't drink. It kind of fucks with
civilized.
The
was civil. Had a little class to him.
I know he would drink.
He was a dandy. He was a dandy. This guy.
He would drink a six pack of Meisterbrow every night.
Oh yeah.
But then sometimes when he wasn't shooting,
I haven't even heard the term Meisterbrow.
I know.
That doesn't exist, right?
Did they piggyback off Lowenbrow? Is that where
Probably.
Meisterbrow came from?
Oh, it's still got 1 star on ratebeer.com.
Too bad.
Why?
Last time I saw Meisterbrow was on top of a pinball machine.
Wow.
Where is it from, Chris? 'Cause
That's amazing.
is it really German or are they fucking lying?
It just screams no Jews have ever bought this beer. The logo.
Looks like it was made by Miller.
So they basically ripped off like the German beer guy.
Yeah, beer
Like,
hall.
let's do a fake. Seems like that should be against the law.
It's like the beer in the Great White North.
Yeah.
He would crush that every night.
No Jew has ever bought this beer.
Fact. I was born in Israel. I can tell you. I'm in the loop.
Now, Jewish people, they never are partiers until there's a guy who is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, either nothing or Mitchell Walters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
goes to the biggest extreme. You know?
Nah, I don't feel like drinking tonight. It's an open bar. Let's go! Meet you there, fuckers!
Jews do a lot of gambling, though, right?
Yeah,
Jews enjoy gambling.
Yeah. My folks live in Vegas, so there's proof.
And they gamble and live in Vegas?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
You got to fucking pick one or the other.
Yeah, that's true.
Either you gamble and you're homeless in Vegas, or you live in Vegas and you don't gamble. It's just.
And then the housing was always fairly cheap if you didn't, you know.
Yeah, if you played your cards right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get, because there's no property tax there.
Right.
So a lot of people, but look, a lot of people come out there because the deals are good. A lot of people come out there because it's the last stop on the highway of life.
Right.
I can't tell you how many people I met in Vegas that made the decision to move there because you could walk around and drink.
Yeah.
In public.
And then the funny thing is, you say the last stop, but Reno even gets
a
little more white trash.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
That's like, if you can't cut it Vegas, you got to go to Reno.
You'll pull into Reno and you're like, oh. Oh.
That's the little school attached to the real high school with like all the smoking kids and shit.
Yeah.
That's Reno.
You're just like, there's not even fuckable prostitutes here. Reno.
But the beauty of Vegas is like, remember Danny Gans? Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Guy got $100+ million contract to perform in Vegas. They bust in these old fuckers every week. The guy did the same show for 20 years. The papers out there ripped them apart. Every year they reviewed his show. There's like, this fucking guy doesn't do one new bit, one new thing. And the guy was a gazillionaire, could walk out the door, nobody would fucking bother.
Nobody would know who
You wouldn't
he
know
was.
from a hole in the wall.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, I mean, even if you look at the big singing stars in Vegas, they're not exactly known everywhere outside. Like Wayne Newton is not known.
Right.
Now, you would say that guy's got to be something because no human looks like that. You know what I mean? Like
he's a warlock.
Yeah. It's a crazy fucking look. But I'll say this: Tom Jones to me is one of the greatest fucking singers
Buddy,
of all time.
there is a song of his that I listen to about once a week. Reminds me of my mom. Yiddish Mom. Yiddish Mima. And he did a cover of it. And it's fucking, this guy's voice.
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the credit. If I had panties, I'd throw it at him.
Yeah.
That's how into him.
I remember this was, we were out for a fight, a bunch of us, this show at the time. And we were in Vegas. And everyone was like, let's go do Tom Jones. Let's do like a real cheesy Vegas thing. We were fucking 2 shows into it. We're this motherfucker. I mean, it was like seeing one of the great soul men of all time. And his band was unbelievable.
Wow.
He had
Horns,
some of
baby.
the greatest players with him. And we had one of the funnest fucking nights of our lives.
That horn section he has,
Yeah.
there's some tight horns in there, man. Love it.
Now, with this album,
Yes.
is this the first for you? Have you done it before?
Yeah, I did a DVD in 2010, but I basically did it myself, distributed it myself. This is like my first major. This is planting the flag in the ground.
Right.
Letting you know I have issues.
And you get to run it here at Sirius XM.
Yeah, they're
which
streaming
is-
it on Valentine's. Myself and Mike Boschetti. I'm
Oh, nice.
honored to
Yeah.
share release with Mike Boschetti. Streaming on Valentine's Day, and then they're streaming a couple days after that as well into the weekend. So yeah, that starts this week as well.
Bichetti is, man, there's nobody like him, is there?
Never will be, never has been.
Yeah.
I mean, that we used to do a show up here, Miserable Men, back in the day, and Mike used to come on regularly, and we did a Halloween episode once. We told him we were all dressing up. None of us dressed up because why would we? It's on radio. And Mike showed up dressed as the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz. And watching him walk down this hallway as a witch trying to find the studio is a memory that I will never forget.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
He's such a good dude, man. He's
Sweetheart.
so great. And I love, like, on any social media, he will always answer on anything that comes up. And like it always goes to fuck these young people today, almost 100% of the time.
We did a thing once where we all had an emergency and we had to leave the studio, and we left Mike in our studio by himself on the air live, and then we had the engineer pot up all 8 lines on the phone at the same time. And Mike is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
So Mike is literally trying to have a conversation with 9 people at the same time. And it was just, it was like a highway in like Bangkok. It was just, no, thank you. What? Hello. Hi. Who's this? Hi. Oh, hi. And just, we're on the other side of the glass on the floor dying.
Right.
It's the best.
He's classic.
Yeah.
So, Earl, what else bothers you in terms of race? Is there anything besides blackface?
I thought you were asking me. I almost answered.
Yeah.
That was
But
close.
what about black voice? Does that bother you?
Depends on context.
Like we're like, say, baby, what you doing on over here? I remember when my kids were little, and Robin Williams, they were like, what is he doing? Does he think black people sound like that? And I go, well, they used to.
To us, it was like the most insane impression.
But
We're like,
I don't know
who
if
talks like that.
I don't know if black people ever talk like black people in the movies or on TV. But there was like, "Hey man, what's your job ass doing?" You know, but I don't know. I thought maybe at a certain place. It obviously didn't in my neighborhood.
When my dad would talk to if my dad talked to a black person, he would talk and start talking in jive. He would put that on effect on his voice. If he would talk to a Spanish person, he'd start throwing in fucking random Spanish words.
Is that why he could relate to everybody?
Yeah, that's pretty much. Fucking embarrassing. It's fucking totally insane.
And as a kid, were you aware how uncomfortable that was?
As a child, I just thought, oh, okay, this is how you talk to black people.
He's a cool dude.
Can I take this question up a notch? Earl, are you bothered when black people go in and out of black voice, a la Oprah Winfrey? You know, she has she's very, I don't know. She doesn't sound, and then all of a sudden she'll have somebody else. She's like, child, you know, all of a sudden she gets into the whole thing.
Oh, when she becomes street on everyone?
Yes.
I don't even know if it's straight. It's more country. It should be like, you know, I likes my sweet potato pie. You're like, what?
Right.
Like talking 5 minutes before she's doing like a serious interview with someone.
Yeah, she's like, Tom, how's everything with Katie? You know, and then 2 minutes later, she's like, good.
Yeah, does that bother you, Earl?
It's a little weird when they used to call like I think it was something like double consciousness or.
I've never heard this term before.
Where you basically have to weave through these two worlds, and you're like, where you're basically talking in a white voice, talking in a black voice.
Have any black people ever told you that you weren't black enough?
All the time.
Really?
Especially when I became a rock and roll guy.
Yeah.
And my brother was like, are you? And I'm like, you do know that rock and roll started with black people. And he would be like,
no, he didn't know.
No. No. And it was hard. It was definitely hard because I'd be like into the Beach Boys and everyone's looking at me like.
Yeah, that is weird.
I mean, listen,
even weird
Earl,
for white kids.
I love it, but that's a tough sell. You know what I mean? That's a tough sell.
No.
Sloop John B, you look over and you're bumping it. You're like, what the fuck's going on here?
I want to go home. Come on, guys.
Is this guy
everybody.
filming a bit right now? It's like a hidden camera show.
Earl, that's what Eddie Trunk has to go through with metal guys. They're like, why won't you at least try?
Why is your dad playing Slayer?
Yeah, I went through that because my first real radio producing job was the metal show. So I got into AC/DC, I got into Aerosmith, Slayer, Metallica, Pantera, and all of this stuff. And I really got into it. And then I'm like playing this stuff.
Wait, your first producing was the metal show?
I would do it Sunday nights.
But starting when?
It was like 1990, 91.
Wait, so Eddie Trunk had been there for 10?
No, this was with Ian O'Malley, who's good friends with Michael O'Brien. That's how I met Michael O'Brien, because he would bring bands up.
So Michael O'Brien was bringing bands before he got into comedians.
Yeah, he was a PR guy. He was always a PR guy. And,
wow, I had no idea that.
And they were, and him and Ian were best friends, still are. And that's how I got to meet Michael. But my first gig was metal, and I loved it.
Do you know Michael O'Brien?
I'm familiar with him. I don't think we've met, but I know of him.
I cannot picture him as a rock god.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't picture Earl as a Beach Boys fan, but shit happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you
He
gonna
gets
do?
around.
Yeah.
To me, it was all music. It was all good music to me. And then
Yeah, it's not though.
Pet Sounds. Come on.
Pet Sounds. Come on. You had to go to the top of the food chain.
Good
There's
Vibrations.
97 other fucking albums that you can't defend.
Surfside.
They're just not. I don't. It would be fun sometime to see who put out the most greatest hits of all time, because some of these people have 90 to 100 greatest hits album.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But Elvis is that way. Sinatra is that way.
Doors.
The Doors have a ton. I mean, they were only around for 4 years,
Right.
And they've been putting out an album every 2 years ever since.
It's always anniversary. It was always we used to call it zeros and fives. Every 40th, 10th, 20th, 25th, 30th.
We all count by fives. Right? I know you went to a Jesuit school, but the rest of us can also count by fives.
Phone lines are lighting up with angry black people, by the way. So he's doing math now? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, now what is he up to? All right, we got to get ready to wrap this one up. But Shuli, it's so great to have you in here. You are everybody's favorite person in the building, and everybody in comedy loves you too.
Well, I love you guys. You guys have always been so kind to me from day one up here, and I love your show. I love the people, and thank you so much for doing this, man. It means a lot to me, and I love Unmasked. I am so addicted to that shit. I love you breaking down these interviews. You're phenomenal, dude.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. We got a couple of big ones scheduled, but I also, Chris, I want to make sure we do more New York guys. It always bothers me when we're going to wait because we got this guy local and then they pass away. You know what I mean? Like, I was just thinking about, William, that there's that thing of I'm just going to be an MC in New York.
Mm.
And that's it. I don't want a TV show. I don't want the road. And that you can make a living emceeing in New York for decades. That's a story I would have loved to have heard, but it didn't feel as important as till after he passed away.
You know, I think you could still do it because of how many comics he mentored and
Right.
helped, and maybe even just do a storytelling show about
Yeah,
this
that's a good
guy.
idea.
Because he was worth it. I've met him twice, 3 times.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been a sweeter guy. Didn't know me from a hole in the wall.
Right. When he got to know you, he would treat you worse. That's
Right.
the beauty of it.
But that means he liked you.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. We'll never know.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on this. Like I said, everybody digs you, and I think it's a brilliant concept. I only got to hear a clip because this is coming out.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah. When are you running the whole?
It's Valentine's Day. It starts
Yeah.
streaming on Raw Dog, and then it's available 27th. You can pre-order it now, but it's available on everything the 27th.
All right,
iTunes.
cool. So it'll be a couple of weeks before.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
give it a nice fucking.
Well,
run
our
for us.
subscribers get the perks, man. You know,
and our new friends at Pandora.
you guys fork over those shekels. We'll fork over the shows.
Everything's gonna work out fine, right? Everybody gets to wet their beak a little bit. You guys like jokes, don't you? Like funny fucking jokes.
I'm waiting for the paddle to land on my. In lieu of pay, boys.
In lieu of
Mine's warped.
Yeah. It's well, you get that exposure.
Sure. Listen, I love it here. I've been playing with house money for 13 years, and I'm honored. So thank you guys very much.
All right, Chris, we got to plug anything?
Yeah, well, Shuli's new double album, Shulogy. There's double album, One Sober, One Drunk is available now for pre-order on iTunes. It comes out February 27th, and Shuli will be at Laugh It Up in Philly this Friday and Saturday. Go to sjpcomedy.nightout.com for tickets.
And Mr. Dave Attell?
Mr. Dave Attell, he'll be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas in the Rio on Monday, February 18th. He'll be in Vancouver on Valentine's Day, Tacoma, Washington this weekend, and then he'll be in Phoenix, Arizona next weekend. DaveAttell.com for tickets.
I'm amazed these guys booked themselves in Canada in the winter. Why? Why?
They must have caught him leaving a club or something. He was in a hurry. That sounds like a hurry booking.
There's 17 states that it makes sense to book yourself at. All right, that's it for us. I'll see you guys back in here tomorrow. What are we ending with, Earl?
Little Stevie Ray Vaughan. Little Wing.
All right.
My man. Sorry for the black voice, Earl.